We want to take this opportunity to welcome you once again for today's workshop. It's going to be a very special workshop, good for us to understand the opportunities in the oil and gas sector. We are so happy to see you come in big number. Please, whoever is outside, we request you to come in so that we can start shortly. Our agenda has already been displayed. Please take a look through so that we can move on the same angle. Abagenyi baiti nywena abayizire kurugambi chweka bikwawukana tukubatangira muno mwararaho muta kandi mwebale kwija omurukurato kya lero tukubasaba mwehandikisa hero ni mutahamuga mufune yo akachayi mwije mwikale nuho tutandike omusomo gwaitu agenda oba program yaitu already it displayed her screen kandi hire abali nyuma tugirora kurungi uborabo inekizibu kya maiso otakusokuba norora ebiri hara sembera ho maiso nubo osokuba norora kwa tujja kuba na presentations ezikwawukana kandi tujja kuba tukozesa screen ezituli maiso zona zikulika bigambo nibyo bimu otatekereza abali kunu bakwawukana n'abali kuli so nabwekyo tujja kusaba tugezeho kufuna attention saiden tujja kingayo okay ya okiererezi kituyambe kuba turora buli ekiri ha screen tukubatangira muno inywena mwebali kwija kandi tuina ebikaro bikumara bona bakwija tukusaba mutayikara hero na haiguru hali tuinayo hakwikara so nabwekyo muhure mugumire kandi abali haiguru barona kurungi businga abali hansi so nabwekyo worano hura utaina kasinge hansi hano oina businge oli wabugabe kugenda okayikara eruguru hali baitu tukubasima muno hawakyo kya lero tujja kuba tusomesebwa kandi tujja kuba tukozesa endimi zaiti za buli kiro okusobola kwetegeza buli kimu ekigenda maiso agenda yaitu eri very simple kandi tujja kuba tugiraba mu bwangu. Let's have the agenda display. Agenda yatejja kuba negende eti akaire katukwasireira baitu tujja genda nakyo mpora tujja kuba tufuna tujja kuba tufuna okwehandikisa tukusaba buli akutaha munda oyehandikise kandi orenti wafuna kachayi otahe munda oije oyikale tujja kufunayo ekizina ekyihanga hanyuma ekizina kyihanga tujja kufunayo ekizina ekya tuina kubanza nekizina kya bunyoro tinuko abagenyi baitu ekizina tujja kufuna ekya bukama bwa bunyoro nubo tugale ekizina kyihanga tufune sara abagenyi baitu tujja kuba tutandika n'ekizina ekyihanga tugaleho ekizina kya bukama bwa bunyoro tufune sara haroho omukuru omunyadini ajja kuba natuha sara otukuba tutandika abagenyi baitu tukubatangira muno kandi tukubasaba mwikale tusoko bantu tandika na agenda yatu nkokwe kusoma katunihire abakusinga obwingi tumazireiro okwehandikisa twafuna akachayi twaikara tujja ku bantu zina ekizina ky'ihanga ayinyuma tujja ku bantu garuka n'ekizina ekyabo kama bwa bunyoro kitara then tujja ku bantu funa Sara kuruga omunyadini omurungi hano then tugende maiso na program ko kuziri screen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to start our today's workshop. And according to the agenda, I hope and we hope that everyone has registered and had breakfast. We cannot stay any longer. We need to start. Abala hero, muanguhie tujja kutandika mukaire kano konyini kandi kusikira program yaitu tutandike n'okwehandikisa twafuna akachayi abala hero bairaba mutahemu such that tutandike program hakuba akaire katukwasiregeira kusaba itwena twemere tujja ku bantu zina ekizina ky'ihanga tugaleho ekizina kya bukama bwa bunyoro tufune Sara okuruga omwamukuru ali hano naitwe mukuru wa dini aja kuba natuha Sara nja kusaba tufuneyo ekizina ky'ihanga kandi akazina njaka kuwasa riso niwajja kuba natwekulembera ekizina eky'ihanga tuinaho omukuru okuruga mukama bwa bunyoro kitara aja kuba natuha ekizina kya bunyoro kitara then tujja kufuna Sara kuruga omwamukuru wa dini ali hamuna itwe hano.
Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this engagement you have given us. We want to thank you for the opportunity you have given us to be in this place. We pray for your guidance. We pray for your blessings. We thank you for the gift of the resources you have given us. Thank you for being with us. Direct all our steps. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Thank you so much, Katwikale. Our agenda is still ongoing, and based on this, we are going into safety moment, first from the hotel, and then second, we shall have it from our representative from Uganda National Oil Company.
Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mulire mutawase na banyabu. Amabara nabanyetaka Mukama Patrick, the General Manager of Hoima Resort Hotel. My work today is very simple. First of all, I see you feel welcome. I think my staff welcomed you when you are coming. But purposely, I just want to confirm 3 things. One, I'm here to kubakakasa. Safety is number 1 in this organization. Hoima Resort Hotel is an ISO certified hotel. We are the only hotel in Bunyoro that serves to the standard of the world. So when you're here, feel free. Our food is safe, our water is safe, and your security is very safe. We are guarded by city police. The last one, I want to show you where the directions, in case you feel like you want to have for places of convenience, or maybe you need to talk to any person. When you go outside here, you go to the urinals, both men and women. When you move the other side, down, there is also urinals for men and women. The ground floor, same way, there is also urinals for men and women. And in case you're not feeling okay, we have a hotel nurse who can give you first aid treatment. So feel free, feel at home. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Tumtere mu bugaru weyo. Ngira tumwetegereze kurungi. Akaire kan tujagaraho safety moment okuruga mu kitongole kya Uganda National Oil Company. Over to you, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Robert. My name is Sandra Wobsobozi, and I work with the Uganda National Oil Company. We are all aware that there are so many roads, critical oil roads, that have been constructed in our region. Over twine mihanda nyingi eyombekerwe mukikaro kyaitu oba mu Albertine region oba mu Bunyoro, kandi mihanda eno eja nebirungi nebibi. Ekirungi ekyokubanza ekija ntinywa aba business or you the suppliers mbani musakuhikira obutale. Ekibi ekiroho kiri nti itwena tuvuga ebiruka oba turubase ebiruka kyonka accidents oba wetekanize oba towetekanize accident zibaho. So safety moment yange eri enkozesa eyengudo ezikozerwe mu Bunyoro. Ngenda kukora aka video katito akaratwolekya kiki kigendo maiso, then nimbagabire explanation oba kusobora nkusobora kwetangira accident ezturaba nazo hangudo zaitu. Itwena turozere kibairo. Engudo zaitu zino bateiremu emihanda kusaramu oba cross junctions ne mihanda eroho roundabout. Itwena nkaba kolese ebiruka binu okuvuga egali, you ride okuvuga pikipiki, you're riding a motorcycle, you're driving a car. Ekintu ekikuru ekikubanza oyina kumanya nti niwe wenkali professional harugudo. Abasigaire bona tibamanyire kiyokora kyonka niwe wenkamanyire ekyokoraki ekyokora burano ovuga okarura boodala omumaiso ekyakora tikihikire iwe otaba mugezi muno gamba akamusale oba kamuteeze saidi mira mwegesi iwe kora ekisemereire omulekye ngu niwaina kubanza kuterera kukora kurungi harugudo niko naiwe orabeho. Accident nyingi zireserwe kuba tutali bagumisiriza okwenda kupapa kusaramu emotoka ende kuija bamalira ni bakutomera. So this is the time, with all the developments within our region, let's pay attention on road safety. We want business people we are working with who are safe and healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sandra, for the wonderful safety moment. And without wasting time, according to our agenda, we are supposed to have opening remarks from the CEO. We have a representative of the Chief Executive Officer from Uganda National Oil Company, Mr. Jerome Nduru. You are most welcome. As we welcome our CEO, I am requesting the interpreter, the sign language person, please come forward, because we could be having people who need to be clearly made to understand. Owa rolimi olwaba takubaza owa sign language tukusaba ije maiso hano okuba akaire niko kanu kokura nti twasobora abatakumanya
Kabisobya. Amabara gange ni nyowe Jeremy Nduru. I'm standing in for the CEO today, and she wasn't able to make it today because of commitments in Kampala. But we thank you all for coming in large numbers, and I believe there's still others who will be coming in. So these are her remarks to the gathering that is here today. The Prime Minister, Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom, Resident District Commissioner, Hoima District, Resident City Commissioner, Hoima City, Hoima District Chairman, LC5, Hoima City Mayor, Chairman, LC3, Kabale Sub-County, the members of Parliament present, the Regional Internal Security Officer, Albertine Region, representatives from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, representatives from the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, our joint venture partners, Unoc, ECOP, Total Energies, representatives from Equity Bank, representatives from Stanbic Bank that are present, and Stanbic Incubator, the media that is present today, all business communities and suppliers present, all dignitaries present, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Uganda National Oil Company, I welcome you to this workshop focusing on empowering communities to participate in the oil and gas value chain. On a quarterly basis, Unoc carries out supplier development workshops, both in Kampala and also upcountry, to disseminate information on Uganda suppliers regarding its projects and opportunities available to them to supply goods and services to the oil and gas industry. This workshop was meant to be held on 28th of June 2023, but because of Eid celebrations, it was pushed to today, which is 5th of July 2023. The main purpose of the workshop is to provide updates on oil and gas project activities currently ongoing and empower the communities. That's the most important, to empower the communities to participate in these activities. Secondly, to showcase Unoc projects and opportunities from the license area, that is Kasuruban. I think most of you are aware we got a new block, which is Kasuruban, in terms of the procurements that are available to you as locals and how will you benefit. Thirdly, to hear from you as participants, what is it that you'd want Unoc to address as we commence operations on the Kasuruban block. As part of Unoc's commitment to better understand the community, we have engaged a provider, that is Living Earth, to carry out a study to better understand how the business community can be empowered and supported to participate in the oil and gas value chain. The study will mainly be touching on youth and women, and it will be in line with the 7th pillar of the National Content Strategy, where Unoc has been able to do a number of things, mainly provision of scholarship programs. We have also been able to do some agricultural development programs. We have also been able to train people in financial literacy, all aimed at empowering the community. This study will be completed by 30th September 2023, and we will come back to re-engage the community in regards to the findings and interventions. Our wish today is to have this information come directly from you. And the last part of the workshop today will focus on getting as much information as possible to enable Unoc effectively engage and empower the community to benefit from the oil and gas sector. So a few key highlights that I would like to put forward in terms of what's going on in the oil and gas sector. One is our mandate as Unoc is to manage the state commercial interests in the petroleum sector and ensure that the oil and gas resources are explored in a sustainable manner. Now, in the upstream, Unoc has 15% participating interests in the upstream through the existing production sharing agreements related to Tilenga and the Kingfisher oil fields. Tilenga, which is under Total, and Kingfisher, which is under CNOOC, and has been able to back into the existing joint operating agreements with Total and CNOOC. As a company, we continue to meet various cash calls for the project and would like to thank the government for its commitment. The Tilenga and Kingfisher oil fields have an estimated STOIP, that is the fuel that is down, or the oil that is down, of 6.5 billion barrels, with development costs of $8 billion US. In the ECOP, that's the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, Unoc through its subsidiary, the National Pipeline Company Uganda Limited, holds 15% shareholding in the proposed establishment of the East African Crude Oil Pipeline. This is a 1,445 kilometer long heated pipeline that will be moving from Hoima to Tanga, that is in Tanzania. In regards to the refinery, run under a Unoc subsidiary company, Uganda Refinery Holding Company Limited, we are able to execute the PFA, that's the Project Framework Agreement, with the Albertine Graben Refinery Consortium that expired on 30th of June 2023, and work has commenced to look for a new partner in terms of financing the project. The refinery is estimated to have a capacity of 60,000 barrels per day that will be designed based on the residual fluid catalytic cracker for bottom of the barrel processing. The subsidiary company, that is Uganda Refinery Holding Company Limited, is also overseeing the Kabalega Industrial Park, a petrol-based industrial park that sits on 2,957 hectares of land near the oil fields in Albertine Graben. Key contracts so far awarded by Unoc for this amount to 3.3 billion. I think you are aware there have been a number of people coming to do studies. That is in terms of the road network. We are also doing studies in terms of ASEA. We're also doing a number of studies for the fencing of the park. We are doing a lot of work is going on in that area. But today, as we speak, 3.3 billion has been awarded to companies in that area. Other ongoing downstream strategic projects include management and development of a strategic reserve to enhance the security of petroleum supply. These include the operation of the Ginger Storage Terminal with a capacity of 30 million liters and the ongoing development of a 320 million liter Kampala Storage Terminal in Impigi District. Across all these operations, we are committed towards maintaining a safe work environment, safety first, with highly experienced staff enriched by diversity and characterized by integrity, leadership and teamwork. The ultimate objective of Unoc is to maximize value for our shareholders and ensure value generation from the investment. And as such, both profitability and growth will be vital for Unoc to successfully remain attractive in the oil and gas business. We are working in partnership with our joint venture partners to progress development of the upstream, midstream, and downstream projects to generate cash flow for the entity. We look forward to your full participation in this workshop, and the teams are available to answer your questions. Now, on behalf of Unoc, I didn't come alone. I came with a number of people. I would like them to stand up. All staff of Unoc, if you could please stand up. A number of them are also outside, but we have a number of staff. Some are behind, some are at the sides. We're all here to answer your questions and wish you a fruitful deliberation. Thank you for listening to me, and I hereby declare the workshop open for God and my country.
Thank you so much, CEO of today, for the wonderful remarks. Tumutere mu bugalo wewe. Kanihire ebikusinga obwingi tubyetegereze bayitumunyikirize mu dakika 2 ngezeho okuhindura ebigambo ebimu okurora nti twena twabyetegeza kandi kaire kanu kwenda kubamanyisa ntingu owa sign language ali hamu naitwe hano ageza okurora nti nawe yabaza olulimi olwaba batakwetegeza bigambo bitukubaza okurora nti nabo batwetegeza kurungi kansabe wena akumanya nti haliyo muntu atakuhura bigambo asembere side ya buturuka izoba nuko tusokuba tugendera hamu. So mukuru kuruga mu office ya Uganda National Oil Company aizire hano kuba nakikirira oba na representinga Chief Executive Officer ali Hamiri Mendi Kampala ko mu office kandi asimire muno abakurasi bona abantu bona abaizire hano ba partners baitu aba UC buli omu na ba media kuba basoboye kuba ni bayija omurukurato lwa kyalero. Unoko eresere kino orukurato rwokusomesa onokurura nti abantu ababulikiro nabo basokuba ni betaba omu industry ya magita kandi nagamba nti ekigendererwa kikuru mu byona kyokurura nti itwe natwageza okuhayo ebitekerezo byaitu na muno engeri kitu kusokuba ntugobora omuntegeka eza magita aga Uganda kandi yatumanyisa ntingu wakashopeno eja kuba yakaba eno kuba yobiro byokweza 28 wiki ehoire kionka hawa kiro kya idi twachwa mtu agiongerayo twagiteka kiro kya lero yatumanyisa nti kitongole kya Uganda National Oil Company kikafuna license oba orukusa ogena maiso no kuhaiga amagita agali mukichweka ekitukweta kasurubani kili kichweka kihiaka kya magita nkobutuhura tilenga na kingefisha tuinaine kichweka kihiaka ekikwetebwa kasurubani kichweka kijja kuba ni kwata district 3 za Uganda na mbele tuina Bulisa district, Hoima district na Masindi district. Ebikusinga obwingi tujja kuba ntuibasobora obwire bwagenda maiso nokola mirimegi kandi yatumanyisa ntingu tukwetaaga kuhura kuruga mulinywe ng'abantu ababulikiro abakwatwaho kurora nti twakwate hamu yatumanyisa nti tuinaho consultant ekitongole kya Living Earth bali hamu naitwe hano kurora nti nabo bakora omusomo n'okumanya ebizibu abantu bibakufuna n'okurora ngeriki twasoka abantu bayamba na muno abayusi n'abakyara kandi ageze maiso yatumanyisa ntingu Unoc kitongole kya government kikora across entire petroleum value chain akagambo ka rujungu muno baitukamanyisa tukora emitendera yona kuruga hali tutandikira kufuna license okuseruliza magita mpaka okusembayo na mbere tusokuba tutukia magita ntugatunda hali omuntu owabulikiro yagenda maiso nokumanyisa ntingu tuinayo n'emirimo ya refinery kandi refinery ejja kuba neyombekwa omukichweka ekya Hoima hano na mbere tuina eitaka erya government yafunire mukabalega industrial park hali tujja kuba ntuombeka ekisayi kyenyonyi wire bunu kyahika obuchweka kienda na kamu hachikubi so wire bona kijja kuba nikihwayo kandi atumanyisize ntingu tugeza okurora nti twakingaho gaps okurora nti twakwate hamu n'abatayi baitu ba joint venture partners abali hano abanyube emikago kurora nti twakurakuraniza industry eno kandi twakwate hamu yatwolekya ntingo tuinaho abakozi ba kitongole kya Unoc abakuruga mu departments ezikwawukana kandi tuli hano kuba ntugaruka mu bikaguzo byona ebitwine kurora nti twakwate hamu nabwe ekyo nkwenda kusima muno nanye muntere mu bugaro hawe bigambo birunge. Thank you so much. We are still proceeding with our agenda kandi omukaire kano kwenda kubasima hawakuba ni mutuherekereza akaire ko kumanya bulekigenda maizo agenda tuina kuba no mukuru kuruga omu office ya chairman w'entebe ya kataano ha district ya Hoima and agwera acting chairperson LC5 antelegesimu yangamba haro program zinde zimukwasire ha district baiti yagamba ina muntu awakusindika somba inisaba twatwinayo representative wa office ya chairman aije maiso atuhe ebigambo ebikuga mu office ya ntebe ya kataano warabataliyo ngwenda kutwala kagisa kano okutangira abakulembe abakwawukana tulinaho leadership kuruga Bulisa district tulinaho office ya chairman LC5 ali hano naitemba inisaba ubira abantu bakwetegereze ogwo arugire mu office ya chairman LC5 tulinaho na abakuru kuruga umukama bwa bunyoro nabo bali hamwe naitwe bajja kuba batugambe ebigambo bikwawukana tulinaho na umukuru regional internal security officer akujunanizibwa navyo kwerinda omukichweka kya Albertine kandi na wali hamwe naitwe tulinaho no mugurusi abwire mukama bwa bunyoro tulinaho abantu bayitire n'abamaleyo n'abakurasi aba parliament nabo baro hano tulinaho ba representatives babo okwatuka tulino kuba na women MP akabaina kuba naitwe baitagambirege nayo meeting on parliament so tiyasobora kwija twituna kuba na woman MP owa Bulisa district nawe yasindika representative bayinisaba representative wa woman MP abantu oba ubireho mukono bamanye nti na Bulisa district nayo eri hamu naitwe abakurasi abakurugambije kabikwawukana bona basindikege ba representatives babo kandi tukubasima muno so mukaire kano tubaire ntunihira ku bantu funa omukuru kuruga district ya Bulisa abanya ya Hoima baitukanihire ajja kusangwa naija kansabe office aizira hikire mukuru okuruga mu office ya ntebe ya kataano ha district ya Hoima tukutangira kandi tukusaba oije otuhe remarks kuruga ha district ya Hoima ojagenda iguru hali otembe oyo.
Thank you very much, the moderator of this meeting, distinguished participants of this meeting, and our lead invitor, Unoc. I am called Mulinda Mbura, Jackson Magambo. I am the Secretary of Works, Production, and Natural Resources, Hoima District Local Government. And as of now, I am standing in as the chairman LC5. I will begin by welcoming all of you who have endeavored to come and attend this meeting. I want mostly to welcome Unoc in Hoima District for having initiated this engagement, which is very, very important because it's going to spell our positions in the supply or participation of the supply of commodities and services in the oil and gas industry. I also want to welcome the partners that are working with different organizations that are facilitating the fast tracking of the oil in this region. We in Hoima District and on behalf of the community, we also want to welcome colleagues from the Albertine for having spared the time to be in this engagement. This engagement to us as the leadership of Hoima is very, very crucial. Crucial in a sense that some of us who have had the chance of seeing the first national oil policy being formulated, we who were consulted. Because I remember during that time, I was in a council. Nkataha council no mwaka gwe 2010. And up to now, nkiali councilor asavingire bisanja bitano. So ubabaire ni basera mafutagano right from the start. I was part of the process. kyonka ebintu bisatu bitwakiraga kuteekayo essira. The 3 points of emphasis that we would always look at would be, how do people participate in oil and gas and get the proceeds of the oil and gas? That was one question that whenever we had an engagement, that was the question ringing. Abantu bajja kufuna mubata. Nuku mukufuna okwo bahinduleho embeera yaabo n'enyikara yaabo omu byentaahya n'enkurakurana y'ekichweka kino. Hambali mafuta gazoirwe. That was one question. The second one was, oil and gas, it's a new industry. Ekwija na different socio-economic dynamics. How are we going to cope up with them? Chatumanyirire kuli akaro kaitu n'enchu itwa ikara hanyanja. Ati oil and gas egenda kutuletera aba expatriates with different demands, with different lifestyles, and somehow with different cultures. Twabanafuya ya cultural erosion, twabanafuya ya ebike bitugenda kusupplyinga kurorangu naito to participatinga, twabanafuya ya katala kakota kakakwija, twabanafuya ya abantu abakwija with our limping social amenities, social facilities like schools, like health facilities, like roads. Bano bakwija tukugenda tutakunywana nabo. Then ekinte kya kasatu kitwaye kaguzaga. How do we participate in the regulation? Oil and gas controller is too much centralized. It's highly technical. No batu iziragandi kumetugamba mwija kuba na royalties. But at royalties, up to now, tinka manyaga kuzibara. Bulisa haliya mafuta. Noya gakurugayo. Hoima gakurugayo. Gona gagenda mu East African crude export pipeline. Nda baranta, nda manyanta. Nyogange mutwaire gakuinga naki. Nukuombale royalty. So that means there was capacity gap, and there is still capacity gap in some of those things. The local governments that are sitting on this resource, that have lived it on this resource since time immemorial, right from the first governments that we have, the Unyoro native government and the rest, need to have a part of the ownership in this. Need to own some of the operations. In that agitation, nuho tukubasimira mukuteka emisomo yenu kutuoleka itwe nko kutuku participating. The community's involvement, you are answering the community involvement. You are accelerating or triggering community participation, which is a very good gesture. Kyonka tukia ina gapu. Gapa itwina mubyona abayonoko tukubasaba mutuhulire. Local governments omwali ni mukoma board ene ku managing Unoc. Mutakome local government representatives in Unoc. Titusobora kuba ba shareholder nkukumuku tweta tuikalire ha resource tuina stake mukaikara mukakoma kashambuzi. For example, I am not saying kashambuzi the member of them. Makoma kashambuzi tuina masiko ruanyarare mwakoma otimu byakutaga talimu runde byembandu. Tukwenda at every stage local governments zino Noya, Hoima, Bulisa, Kagadi, omubikaro bya board munana rundi musanje bimuina muleke local government naito tuikale tukome homu so that when you are coming up with policies they are derived from the local governments and their needs. That's what we are asking. Two, the other time we were crying about capacity. I am very happy the companies and the government of Uganda, including His Excellency the President, he thought about building, training Ugandans. Ekyo nkimusimire kirona musana kandi nyowenka publicity secretary wa NRM hano mu district ya Hoima. I will also double at that. Oil and gas is our pride. Abatani bagamba tituine kitukora ito tukozere. Kyonka tukusaba akantu kano. Abana mu batwaira hero basoma. Mwikaire nimba mu sponsoringa nibagenda. Nka president kuyakozere kyamagezi ya sponsoringa kabagambe huozi ni geology ya mugarura mu oil and gas. Mwakore very good policy. Which policy is really very, very good. Wakungamba taimu, baitu zinu nsonga nizo kuruma bantu. Hata kitu kusaba. Abana banu ba mukondo mumazire kubasomesa. If we have the Commissioner of Petroleum in the Ministry of Energy, we need the oil officer in the district to answer to the cow. That's when we shall be, the structure will be complete. How can you have a Minister of Energy by Unoc, Mulemeire Kampala? When oil is sitting here. We need you to decentralize this sector like you've decentralized education, Commissioner Primary Education, District Education Officer, Head Teacher. Commissioner Clinical Services in the Ministry of Health, DHO, Health Assistant, Clinical Officer in charge. In your Ministry of Energy, kibale meseze ku decentralizing a department za energy within the mainstream local government structure. Kiki. It means mukiaye kogeza there is no transparency initiative what. Ekyo tukwenda mukihindure. We've already built the capacity, we need that changed. Nukonya nkyo bundabanye nensonge kukwata amafuta nyiruke hali the oil officer. Nuwara connecting mwa commissioner. Nuwondole minister. Nanko no muhara waitu no nankabirwa. My sister nankabirwa. Nubo bintu birubate kurungi. But this question of coming from Kampala all the time to Bazan, to Maran, to Genda, you are leaving a gap, which gap will not be closed. Langambirege time, I usually have many remarks because I've told you I'm experienced. Being voted 5 times by the people is a consecutively minus losing a vote a single day. That means I'm resourceful. I think when the kuwatangira inywena, kandi mbasime, mbagambe oil in Uganda is the people's resource, and the NRM ushered in this because we started for all the people like me, you know. We started with the 10-point political program. And this was one of them, the restoration of democracy and the improvement of the socio-economic livelihood. These were 10 points. Some of you were in school, most of you, by the way. But some of us were also in school, but we were the kadogos. So this is what we made, and we need it fulfilled. With those many remarks, I take the honor and the pleasure on behalf of the leadership of Hoima District to thank you and declare this engagement now officially opened. Bravo.
Thank you so much. Webale muno. Webale muno bigambo birungi ebyo chairman kandi bikaguzo ebimu ebibaire mu speech yawe tuina consultant hano okuruga mu kitongole kya Living Earth Uganda nikyo okura tubalesere hano bajja kuba ne bakora study era tuyamba ku identifying areas ezo kitusobozese ogenda maiso n'okwata hamu n'abantu baitu so nabwe kinaki tutwikalire nke kitongole buli kimu tukimanya kandi tugenda maiso n'okustudyinga kufuna in-depth understanding ya buli kimu such that tukwatire hamu kurora nti banya-Uganda basokuba ne bagobora omukintu kyaitu ekya Bunyoro ekintu kyaitu ekya Uganda webale muno kandi nkusaba tumwongere mu obugaru wewe. Very good. Now, akaye kano tuinayo orubazo kuruga omu office ya RCC. Office ya RCC. Baitu tinka murozere ho mukuru wekitinisa Badru Mugabiti murozerege. Kanihire arasangwa na ija akaire kona. Abairaina kutwayo orubazo baitu hawabwire kansabe omukaire kano omukuru okuruga mu kitongole kya Petroleum Authority ayetekanize kuba natuha presentation abantu bona abali hano nkubasaba nti otwale obwire onotinge buli ekyokurora kikwetagisa kuba tutekinga ekyotakengere kurungi okinotinge kituyambe kuba turubatira hamu so nkusaba omukuru kuruga mu kitongole kya Petroleum Authority of Uganda aije atuhe speech yaye kandi mwina kumanya nti Petroleum Authority nikiye kitongole kya Uganda kikujunanizibwa n'okurolera enkola ey'emirimo ya magita kandi bantu bamani muno bwire buno nkusaba tumuhakayire tuhulirize tumwetegereze omu presentation yaye you're most welcome from Petroleum Authority of Uganda kandi abona abaliyo abali aheru mutahemu musokuba ni muhuliriza atakabayi kuhika mugambe ebigambe birungi bikumurabaho so nabwe ekyo tusembere haihi na haiguru hali tuinayo hokwikara so na otanihira nti hokwikara aho ile titu kwena mutwe na ikara heru haiguru aho ha top haiguru aho haliyo aho kwikara harungi muno kandi haliyo view nungi so akaire kano tujja kuba ntuhuliriza kuruga mu Petroleum Authority of Uganda tuina abantu bona tuinaho aba Ministry of Energy tuinaho ba ECOP tuinaho ba Total Energies Unoc eri hano kandi nkusaba buli halo kurora mukozi wa Unoc otalemwa kumwekaguza buli kyoka kwenda kumanya hao kuba bona bali bantu abali intelligent nibamanya emirimo ya magita nkokwe kurubata so nabwekyo kiro kya lero otalemwa kurugaho ne contact tubagambirege eno guno nago mukisa gwa ku networkinga okufuna contacts no kwate hamuna abantu abali mu kintu tomanya oja kuboli aho na kuyamba mu guidance mungere omu oba endi so owa Petroleum Authority anategekaga presentation yaye nkusaba itwena tusigale tuteka ine kandi tusobola kuba ntuliriza program nkobwe kugenda nkunira ajja kuba nasoma busoma computer baitu warasobora system erabete kaine ajja kusangwa na connectinga projector. The floor is yours, sir. Tumuhulize kurungi kani hile itwena orijongo tukurukenga.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'll use a bit of English and Luganda. I hope that's okay. My name's Bintu Peter Kenneth, and I'm privileged to work with the Petroleum Authority of Uganda as the Enterprise Development Officer. So this morning, I'm going to share a bit about the status, where we are currently in the sector. Okay. And then some of the gains that we have made as a country as a result of oil. And then probably the main reason why we are here, the opportunities. How do we participate? So I'll go to the introduction. Thank you. So there are three main agencies of government that participate in the sector. Unoc is the reason we are here and has given us a brief about what they do, so I will concentrate on the other two agencies. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development is the policy maker. They ensure that the policies that are developed give us value, and they also do the investment promotion. Like you have recently seen a call for partners to support the refinery, as well as the licensing and giving licenses to the different companies. That's the role of the ministry. And then the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, where I'm privileged to work, our role is really to ensure that we regulate the upstream and midstream sectors so that we get value as a country, but also that things are done well in line with the laws of Uganda. Now, who are the participants? We have a number of companies that are participating in the upstream and the midstream sectors. So we have these key players. We have Total Energies, we have Unoc, we have Unoc, we have Oranto, Ama Energy, and then the Alberta Ingraben Consortium, but that has since expired, and we are looking for a new partner. So these are some of the people who are participating, the main players in the sector. So as a business person, as you're in the room, these are some of the companies that you need to see. How do I approach? Are there opportunities in these companies that we can be able to participate in? Now, what is the current status? So we made our first commercial discovery in 2006. And then since then, we have made 21 discoveries. Our success rate of discovering of oil from the different exploration has been about 88%, which is very high, given that the world average is about 20. So as a country, we have been very, very lucky in our drilling operations, because almost every out of 4 something times we have been successful. Then so far we have discovered 6.5 billion barrels, of which 1.4 billion is recoverable with the available technologies. Now that Unoc is going to explore, as well as a new company called DDG, we are hoping that this will increase so that we'll be able to get more value. We have 3 different PLAs under review. So this is really an overview of where we are in regards to how much oil we've discovered. But I want to get to the interesting things of what it is that benefits us in the room. We have a number of agreements that have been signed to ensure that we take forward the oil. And these ensure that we'll have a sustainable way of doing business in the sector. Then in 2022, February, we had the final investment decisions for the upstream project. Now, this kicked off a number of developments which are going to help us. And I think over the last year, you've seen the level of activity in the sector has really gone up because of this. Now, we're going to have we've seen a number of opportunities that have resulted from these, from the final investment decision. The exploration projects, I'm going to just quickly run through. We have currently 4 players in the exploration area. We have Ama Energy, Oranto, and now Unoc, and then DGR Energy. So these are the people who are currently exploring for new oil findings. Then now the development phase. I'm going to quickly run through these preliminary areas so that we get to the important things, which is the opportunities. Now, when it comes to the development stage, these are the main projects where we hope to be playing. Now, we have the upstream development, which is the new explorations the central processing facilities, the pipelines, the access roads, the camps. Now, in each of these areas, we hope to see investments that will trickle down to the people down. So for the upstream development, we estimate that there should be investments in the region of about $8 billion. Now, as the authority, we hope to see that we at least retain at least 40% of these values being retained in countries through work being done by Ugandans. Then the refinery project that has been highlighted about. Then we have the East African crude oil pipeline, which will be transporting about 200 barrels of oil to that world market, and that is estimated to cost about 3.55 billion investment. And then we have support infrastructure. We've seen the roads improve as a result of oil. The second international airport in Uganda is being completed. By October, we think it will be a functional airport which can be able to receive flights, and flights can be able to take off. So that those developments are also going to help to fast track the opportunities in the sector. Then in regards to the Tilenga project, this will have about 35 well pads. This is the bigger project. And it will, at peak, it will be producing 190,000 barrels of oil per day. This is really, we'll also have a feeder pipeline of 95 kilometers. Currently, the RAP is ongoing. The front-end designs have been completed, and the environmental impact assessments have been submitted and are under review and should be approved soon. Then when it comes to the refinery, this has been briefed properly. The East African crude oil pipeline, this will start from Hoima to Tanga. And we've also had a bit of a brief on this, but there are going to be a number of opportunities as a result of the pipeline. So as I go into the opportunities, we'll brief you more on how you can position yourselves as a business entity to see that you benefit. Now, the crude oil pipeline is one that will benefit 10 districts in Uganda. So these districts, from Hoima all the way through Kakumiro, Chankwanzi, Mubende, Gomba, Sembabule, Rengo, Rakai, and Chotera. But now as a business person in Hoima, you have an edge given that you're at the beginning. You get to see a number of opportunities at the very beginning, and you can be able to supply all the way through. And this is where you need to position yourselves to see that you take advantage of these opportunities that are available. Then the support infrastructure, we've briefed about this. Now, I think this is where the interesting things are. What have we benefited as Ugandans? Biki bye tufunamu mu mafuta. Now, as we talk, as at end of June this year, we have 12,949 people employed directly in the oil and gas sector. Now, by direct employment, I mean people who are working with the Petroleum Authority, with Unoc, Total, and the different subcontractors. So as we talk now, 12,000 people, almost 13,000 people are directly employed. And of these, 94% are Ugandans. So because of the capacity building initiatives, the number of expatriates in the sector is still fairly low, because we ensure that most of these opportunities are taken up by competent locals. Now, of these, 3,871 people are from the communities in which these projects are. So as we ask ourselves, as the communities, how are we benefiting? As of now, and this is excluding the people who are going to be hired from the host communities for ECOP project. So this is from Tilenga and Kingfisher. So close to 4,000 people are directly employed from the communities. That is from Hoima, Bulisa, Noya, Pakwach, from the districts in which these projects are. Then when you look at skills development, because one of the things that have been limiting us in regards to employment has been the level of skilling or the level of experience that we have in the sector. So as an initiative, government undertook to support training initiatives for Ugandans. As we talk now, as of June, over 14,000 Ugandans have been trained and certified in different disciplines which we felt were necessary. Things like welding, civil engineering, health, environment, and safety. Before, these are areas that, as Ugandans, we didn't give a lot of focus. A lot of our welders were people who were locally trained. There were very few certified people in the welding areas or in scaffolding. But now we have been very intentional about skilling, and over 14,000 people have been skilled. Then a number of the international certification companies have now been able to come and set up in country. So the courses that previously you had to go out of the country to be able to get, you can now be able to get within Uganda. A number of our institutions have gotten partnerships, and now you can get these certifications in country. Then also to ensure that the government officials who are supporting and regulating these projects have good capacity, over 200 government officers from different ministries and disciplines have been trained to ensure that they can add value to our resources. And we are currently updating the workforce skills development strategy so that we see how we identify the current gaps now and also close those gaps. So from that graph that you see here, these were the people who were needed in the sector and how many people we have trained. So as you can see, we still have some gaps around logistics and supply chain management, as well as civil engineering, because the level of skills required are somewhat high, and we need to close that gap as well. We've made good progress around welding, scaffolding, electrical engineering, but we still have some gaps that we also have to close. Now, in regards to enterprise development, we have what we call the micro, small, and medium development project, which we have been carrying out across the ECOP districts. I can see from the room here, a number of the enterprises that have been trained from this are in the room. Now, in this particular project, we initially set out to train 200 companies across the ECOP district. We were able to train 280, and we are now embarking on a training that is going to focus on women and youth, as well as youth-owned businesses. And of these, we hope to target at least 100 enterprises across these districts. Now, these are efforts still to see that we build the capacity of enterprises so that they can participate. So when you engage your district commercial officers, please inquire about some of these programs so that if you qualify to participate, you participate, because these are government-funded projects which can benefit your business immensely. Then in regards to utilization of our goods, people supplying to the companies. As of June, about $7 billion. You saw that graph where we hope to see an investment of 20 billion. As of June this year, $7 billion has been awarded. So of that amount, 1.76 billion has gone to companies that are Ugandan. So 25% of that value will be retained, but we want to do more than retain 25%. So we still push to see that we have more people participating in the sector. So already there are Ugandan companies that are providing goods and services. And majority of the companies, when it comes to the small procurements below $100,000, of these, almost out of procurement of 1.3 billion, 1.2 went to Ugandan-owned companies. So as Ugandans, we are participating, but we need to do more so that we retain more value and more companies benefit. Then also, in regards to companies involved in supplying, 73% of the companies that have supplied goods and services to the sector are Ugandan companies. So in terms of the number of people participating, we are fairly there, but we need to do more. We need more Ugandans to come and participate. So if you're sitting here and you're thinking, how do I are there people making business? Of this amount here, close to $1 million has gone to community-specific procurement. So from the procurements within the communities, things that are bought directly within the communities, close to $1 million has been there, but that is still very little when you look at the amounts we are talking about. So as the communities, we need to do more to be able to supply. So if you see the level of participation of Ugandan companies, we have kept going up and down over the years. But from 2020, when we had COVID, the numbers have consistently gone up. And we want this trend to continue. So some of the things that have been limiting our participation have been that majority of our companies are not registered on the National Supplier Database. Maybe just as a show of hands, how many of us are on the NSD in the room?
Baingaha abali ha National Suppliers Database abehandikisize mu Petroleum Authority. Mwimuke omukono.
So as you can see from the room, maybe about 10 to 15 people. Now this is a supplier workshop for supplying the oil and gas sector. The first requirement for you to be able to supply is to be registered on the National Supplier Database. So, as a call to you, I would like, as you leave this room, you need to know how do I, as a business, register on the National Supplier Database. Now, part of these engagements, it's about networking. If you've seen someone put up their hand, it means they've gone through that process. Engage that person so that they can support you. But we are also here and can be able to support you to register. So that's the main thing that you need to ensure that you do. Now, some of the Ugandan companies that have participated in the sector, these are a number of the companies. Some of these are actually within here. So you need to know that Ugandans like yourselves are actually participating in the sector. But we need to take an initiative. Being in the project area and not benefiting is not a good thing. You need to ensure that if you're here and you're being given priority, you need to utilize that priority and participate. Now, what are the opportunities for participating in the sector? in regards to national content and value retention, we mainly look at 5 key areas in which we are targeting to retain value. So for each of these areas, I will tell you some of the opportunities that exist. Now, the first opportunity is around employment. So if you're in the room, you're a qualified engineer, you're certified, you have your skill set, you can be able to apply for these opportunities. A number of the opportunities actually prioritize people from the communities. So you find when it comes, for example, to unskilled labor, all those opportunities, which are very many, have been completely ring-fenced for the communities in which the projects are. So we want to see more of our youth taking up these opportunities. But unskilled opportunities are not where we want to stop. We want to target the skilled opportunities that are high-paying, so that a few years down the road, we are the ones going as expatriates to other countries. So position yourselves. If you have your qualifications, register. For employees, we have what we call the National Oil and Gas Talent Register. Register so that you upload your documents. When these companies advertise, you get to know and you participate. Then the second area is around capacity building. Now, these supplier workshops are also part of that effort to build capacity of enterprises. Because in these engagements, you get to know why we are not participating and hopefully be able to do something about it. Then we have enterprise development. A number of initiatives have been undertaken to see that we support our enterprises to participate. So if you're having any challenge, our doors as the Petroleum Authority are always open. We have an office just down the street. If you have a challenge, come to our office, engage us so that we can be able to support you. Then we have knowledge transfer and technology. Now, one of the opportunities available for us as local enterprises is we can do joint ventures with either foreign companies or local companies. Join hands. A number of the opportunities that are coming with the oil are very big. So as individuals, we may not be able to manage. But can we join hands so that we work together and then we benefit as a group? Then the most critical one is around use of locally produced goods and services. Now, our law was very good in that it prioritizes use of available goods and services, as opposed to getting something from outside the country. If that commodity is within Uganda, that is preferred. So, as a person who is within the communities in which the projects are happening, you have a very big edge when it comes to supplies. So you need to see what are the things that the companies that have contracts want to buy. Can I make them locally available? So that instead of them buying from elsewhere, they buy from your companies. So a lot of the value in terms of value retention is around supplying goods and services to the companies. So as a business person in the room, I need you to see that before you leave, you identify an area or two where you're going to be intentional about trying to benefit. Now, these 16 areas are strictly for local companies, Ugandan companies. It is only when there is no Ugandan available that we consider a joint venture, then or a foreign company. So, if you're participating in these areas listed here, foods and beverages, hotel accommodation, human resource management, office supplies, cleaning, clearing and forwarding, locally available construction materials, civil works. These are areas where the government said, as Ugandans, we can do this. So in these particular areas, you do not compete with foreign companies, which gives us an edge. So you need to see, how do I participate? Now, how these areas were looked at, we looked at the level of complexity. So from the circle that you see here, the areas that are in the middle were the very highly technical areas, what we call specialist services, bringing the well services, rig hire, wellheads. Those are things that were new to us as Ugandans, because this is a new sector. So those ones, we say, those can be done by the foreign companies. Then the areas in the middle, those are areas where we have some capacity, but we are not yet there. So those ones, we have been encouraging joint ventures. If you're a local partner, can you look at the NSD list and identify a company in your line so that you can see, can we partner? So that you pick knowledge from these people who have been doing this for some time. Then now the areas that are outside, these are areas that we feel strongly Ugandans can manage. But still, the quality and standards needs to be a bit up there to be able to participate. Now, what are we doing as government to try and enhance your participation? So around the employment of Ugandans, we review the employment and recommendations for expatriates. If we have skilled Ugandans, we recommend that those skilled Ugandans are given jobs. Then around skilling and training of Ugandans, the companies submit training plans, and we review and approve these, as well as sometimes work with the National Council for Higher Education to advise on the quality of that courses that Ugandans are doing. Then in regards to enterprise development, we work hand in hand with different stakeholders to see that we train our companies, and we continuously do this. Then in utilization of goods and services, we are always available to support you to register on the National Supplier Database so that you can be able to participate, because that's the most limiting factor for most of our companies. But what it requires for you to register, maybe if you are to take away anything, this should be it. You need to have your company registered or incorporated. That's the first requirement. The second requirement is you need a tax clearance certificate. The third requirement is you need an NSSF certificate. Then the fourth requirement is you need what we call the URSB annual return, or to show us who are the shareholders in your company. Then the last one is a bank reference letter to show that you have an account in that bank. Those are the only things that you require, and registration on the NSD is actually free of charge. So a key thing to appreciate as you try to supply the sector is the sector works in such a way that there are what we call tiers of supplying. So not every one of us is going to supply to Total or to Unoc or to ECOP. So those companies will get what we call the main contractors, who are the tier ones. So for example, Unoc will get a company, which is its tier one. Then that company will also subcontract some of that work to other companies. So if you're a supplier, you need to see who are the people who have gotten contracts? Then what can I be able to subcontract from them? So don't only target Total, Unoc, CNOC. Also look at the people who they have given business so that you can get opportunities from there. We've gone through this. So as I conclude, the sector is growing very quickly. The opportunities are happening now. Before, people used to say, will oil come? When will it come? But now we are in that now, it's happening now. Our friends are benefiting. So as a company, if you're not yet on the NSD, please ensure that you prioritize that, register on the NSD. If you have your qualifications, you're an engineer, you're an accountant, register on the National Supplier Database, on the Oil and Gas Talent Register as well. Then seek partnerships between yourselves as well as other bigger companies, because the opportunities that are available are so big in regards to the resources you need, the skills you need. So partner, work together with others so that these opportunities don't pass us by. And as the authority, we are always available. Our doors are always open. If you have a challenge, please do come and approach us or approach Unoc. We will be available to support you. So with that, I thank you so much for giving me your attention, and I wish you a good rest of the workshop. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bintu from Petroleum Authority of Uganda. And I hope he has been elaborate enough, and I'm sure we have managed to understand most of the things. Munyikirize mu dakika emu yonka ngezeho kugaruka mu ebimu mu lulimi olunyoro byatugambire. Petroleum Authority of Uganda kitongole kya government kandi kikujunanizibwa n'okulora nti kyahondekereza enkola y'emirimu, kandi tulinaho n'ebitongole bindi bya government nambe tuna Ministry of Energy oba ekitongole kya government ekikujunanizibwa na ebyobugaiga by'omwitaka hamu n'amasanyalazi, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. Mulimo gwabo gutaha okulora nti bateeka amateeka agali mu byamafuta okulora nti nabo bateekamu muno amaani kulora nti twafuna ba investors hamu n'okugaba olukusa omu companies ezikwawukana. Tulina Unoc abali hano nitu abali hano ekitongole kya government tukujunanizibwa n'omulimu gw'okukola business oba okusobola okwamagita harubajjo lwa government, kandi tukora hamu n'abatayi baitu aba joint venture partners. Akaire kandi tulinaho aba joint venture partners baitu aba Total Energies, aba Sinoco Uganda Limited hamu na Ministry of Energy. Mbaye ninsaba our partners and the Ministry of Energy kindly stand up for recognition such that we can be able to be seen by our leaders. Ministry of Energy, our joint venture partners, may we raise up for a second just for recognition from our team. Sinoc and Minister of Energy plus Total Energies. If we are here, we could stand up for recognition. Okay, thank you. Maybe they'll be coming through. And ayongero yatumanyisa nti kusikira ebigenda maiso bwire bono emilimo nyingi egenda maiso nokorwa tuyinayo emilimo eya ekurura nti twahika magita kantu kunira tubantu gafuna mwaka gwa 2025 yatumanyisa nti project za upstream eza Telenga na Kingfisher nazo zigenda maiso kuba nizikorwaho emilimo eri mu development hati tukuombeka support infrastructure kurura nti buli kimu kiagenda maiso nokorwa. Then refinery nayo process yona zigenda maiso tukamalira kukora omusomo ogwa kwetegeza ngeri emilimo ya refinery ejja kuba ne kwata abantu nebyo buhangwa ekitwesere environmental social impact assessment ekakorwa, kandi front end engineering design oba plan eyakuombeka refinery nayo ekakorwa ira. Ebya pipeline, East African Crude Oil Pipeline, nabyo tugenda maiso nokurura nti twafuna itaka, so tuli mu process yo kusasula abakwasirweho kantu kunihira urugurahwa nutandika kuombeka Kabalega Industrial Park hamu na Kisae, Kabalega International Airport, emilimo nayo egenda maiso ya airport hamu na Industrial Park tugenda maiso nokuba tukora buli kimu, kandi opportunities yatumanyisa nti opportunities nyingi ezikwija bwire buno tukunihira opportunities oba milimo nyingi omu pipeline eja kuba neija nekwata omu district 10 za Uganda. Emilimo bwire buno hali tukubaliza abantu 12 na kenda ana na mwenda banya Uganda bali employed omu industry eya magita, kandi abantu abandi 13 nabo ba mazirera kufuna milimo mu bichweka bya Bulisa, Chikube na Hoima abo bamazirera kufuna otataire mu project ya ECOP tukutunura bana abali mu Telenga na Kingfisher. Then yatumanyisa nti Uganda wire buno hali tukubaliza obuchweka 7 banya Uganda bamazireira bali mu business ya magita ku supplyinga kandi yatusobola nti natutera natusaba tulole nti twehandikisize mu kitwesere National Suppliers Database nigwo mukutu oguli online halo kwehandikisa kubano yetaba omukurura nti wa supplyinga yatumanyisa nti balo hano ba Petroleum Authority kandi balina offices zaabo hano balo kuba ni batuyamba kurura nti twasokuba ntugobora omuntegeka zino yagamba emirimu nyingi munejja kuba neija tujja kuba yona emirimu yaba casual twetaba unskilled tujja kuba yona emirimu yaba semi skilled n'aba professional baita ya casual egyo ejja kuba negenda mu bantu abakwatwaho abakuga mu communities nambere emirimu ekukorwa kyonka nabona abasaba abali mu semi skilled na bali professional haliyo kitwesere National Oil and Gas Talent Register nambere ogenda no yehandikisa okateeka details zaawe zona omukutu ogwo nosobola kuba nofuna nokumanya biki ebiriyo yatumanyisa nti kandi tukusaba abantu abalina business ebitongole ebiri hano mugende maiso nokwatira hamu mukole what we call joint venture partnership kituyambe kuba ntusobola kuba ntusupplyinga ombitongole bikwawukana yasembya ina atugambira nti government ekafukwata bichweka oba emirimo eyabika mirimo 16 ekahebwa abanyayuganda niyo balina kuba niba supplyinga nambira okusanga transportation medical bya kuombeka mirimo eri 16 ring fenced opportunities eyabana Uganda kuba nibetabamu habwaki bakikozere titukwenda tube na competition nebitongole ebya amahanga agahero so nabwekyo tugezeho kwate hamu nokufuna information yona era tuyamba kuba twetaba mu kugobora omukya bugaiga ekitwine hano akaire kano kwenda kwasima muno kandi kimanye twikalire muno kurugayira nkusaba saha zino tufune ekitwesere health break na mutayi wange hano Sandra ajja kuba natutwara mu exercise obuke obutito nka bubiri busatu nuko turugwe mu empeo abantu manye ACN na yetalibanizamu osokusangwa ka AC kakuleteira oturo obana kachayi ketunywire obolyaho osokwesanga otandikire kubyama so nkusaba Sandra tutwale omu exercise umanyewe ebintu binabikora muno so ajja kuba natutwaliriza natuyihamu empewe nubire buno nkusaba tuemere tufuneka health break akasa dakika nemute kuhika
tutandike again tugamba we started saying your safety your health is our first priority okubaho kwanyu muri bomezi kandi muri kurungi nikiye kitutware ekintu kyokubanza so tugyakora obu exercise butito tujja stretchinga no garuka side yawe eyemoso eyobulyo no garuka side yawe eyemoso no garuka enyuma no garuka maiso tiniko hatika tutandike tukutandikira side eno atomanye emikono ene tujwaya nsa kuba ningenda kuno abandi nibagenda kuno abandi nibagenda kuno so tugendere hamwe bundagenda kuno naye wogende nka kuno so let us start let us move to this side let us move this side the edge doesn't matter let us move backwards you can hold your back for support then to the front we bend as though we are touching the toe thank you so much let's clap for our hands.
Thank you so much for that health break. I hope can hire oturo tugenzere. Akaire kano tuinaho abakuru okuruga ombukama bwa Bunyoro Kitara kandi mbayini nsaba omukuru aije atusobole bwire buno entegeka za ebyenkurakurana na muno mu industry ya magita byahikankaha kandi twetuna kubaho umuhikirwa wabukama bwa Bunyoro baitu yabaone emikoro endi bali bizata kusokuba na ija kyonka yasindikaho abakugwa baye technical team kuba ni batuha update in terms of the developments at the kingdom in relation to oil and gas operations. I welcome you to the floor.
Muraire muta kabale galega legera kim twesorogoya abumukama natungo kumanyisibwa kitwera kubaza ha docket ya production tunaona wa oil and gas manager Mr. Robert yaruhanga tuo kiyemera abantu bakwetegereze amabara Kasagama, Abdu, Ateni, Mambito, kandi bamujukuru Kabalega, ndi mujukuru enaba y'omukaaga. Isekunyowe akaba ali one of the firstborns of King Kabalega. Sonyizira mukiti ekyobukama nyijuire kurungi. Ntakahikire akigenderwe kindesere. Mbegeni ntahamu na hure kizina kya Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom. Nikizinwa. Ekyokubanza kizina ekyo parts ezirimu tiziri nizo. Omukuru mukondo gya kujja ombukama bakwereze the original version. Number 2 tugira parts isatu. Zona ozimarayo haruho omukama. Kaso omukama abaho zona zirugayo isatu. Obahawo mumuhikirwa the prime minister ziba ibiri. Obaba yitwena kutwizira eba emu. So let us be orderly as Banyoro. Ekintu ekindi common mistakes abantu amagita bageta mafuta. When I was growing up in my father's compound, my grandfather's compound, ebigambo babiteraga ne batutera gaba magita tigaba mafuta. Then common mistakes ebintu byaye, that word is not Runyoro. Yaye byaye nebijwangari omunyankwe nabito bijwangari ebikamba kamba ebyo it's called ebintu bye. And these are the things that are going on Mahure. Now the media is here, the word is going byaye up to London, America, diaspora. Wrong word ebintu bye. Then kufuna kuba kutunga bojo kutoza, that word is not there. Kusera then haliye kino emere biba byokulya mutiyo munno. Then haliye abene baitu kyali balora abaganyira omuyikona omuyibanga awo ne tukubegesaga. Now that with the coming up of Kabalega Radio, of course, and other radios who have been operating with us, we are going to do the needful. Obukama we in a production department ne kuro mugatu wa kitinisa wa Irindi Wilson Adieri in absentia tuferiwege omu haba amasaza owesaza lya Kibanda North ombito Dabanja Alfred akubana azikwa kosa nyenkya so mugatwa ali mu tekanze yokuziika tasowe kuba naitwa hano. Production department enu hand in hand ne rubasemirimo na ODF Omugo Development Foundation mukimanye nti omuga ina department sezikura kwa ntikichweka. For example, they are so much in cocoa growing, aiming at producing chocolate in Uganda. Hakabaho mwanya muhango mundo kuranti ebyobulimi bya simbi bwa byaletwa ombukama haroho ekizibu kya ebikaijo byayizire bya taking over abantu babatwa banenjara yamani kabumba yasima nti tugende tutere emyenda Bunyoro Kitara abantu bitegereze habwaki baina kuba ne bemigira ombintu bino ebyokulima. Tuina madara 3 agekulemberwa project yibesere eka ekwesimisa ombukama, and I'm technically handling that project or a desired home model. Tugesera ombukama eka ekwesimisa ene empagi 3 hali yemera. Empagi yokubanza tulina kuba ebyokulya food production, and this food should be healthy food. Hatali kumaragalia osibire nokora no maliro lire chapati ne bihimba oja kumalira ogenzere hakisoni bakubaga. Number 2 twagama tubene byokulya ebyokutunda tubona akasente omunsaho tuleke kuba basabiriza muntu nakurora ku seremo saizire mugambe tindo hansi ya madara. Why? Tukuba tufale empowered. Kabumba kasima nti abantu betegereze nti balina kuba ebyokulya okalya kurungi okayiguta then okakola emirimo eyakuhangirwe mu nsi muno hatali kumaragalia. Then obene ebyokulya ebya kasimbi nkaha omunsaho. The third pillar tuina conserving kulinda obuhangwa bwaitu. Conserving the environment, the word conservation means simply to use wisely. Vano muti kyonko kukozese kurungi kandi tutagutema hakiri gwihe enko ezigwire. So we conserve the environment by encouraging production of fruit tree fruits like jaka, emiyembe, cocoa, n'ebindi nk'ebyo bijuma. Training zaitu focusing on the following. Twina model farm rather, it established in Kagadi, Kienzige, Kitema village. Model farm yobukama nitukwataniza na Goodyear Education and Goodyear Farm and Education Center. We have an MOU with him, and tusomeseze abantu abakushikanja kuba nimba bagambira. By to focusing muno had the following. We want to training emyenda emyero kitara, to training mindset change okuhindura ekitekerezo. Ntito tugamba nobrabo ina yard 100 by 100, 50 by 100, it will work. Recently Unoc came and helped us on the backyard and urban farming. 40 farmers were sampled. Omukuru mukonda akimanyire kimu nti it was a success. Tulinze kubarambula tulibi bakozere nibya kuba bampe bisani nyo nyanya zikuzire bikintuze cabbage. We shall come to that. Mindset change nti ebyo byabali abaina mataka square mile kwa nango ina kuba ina taka iliyo ina kozesa no kuba ina ploti tukwegesa kulimira enyuma kuli ebetaka anyuma no teka ikyo otireyo before you know you are supplying the market in your own capacity. Number 2, we are on local chicken management training. Enkoko zaite zenzarwa mwijuke nti akasupuka enkoko yaitu kanura muno kira enkoko ezindi ezintabaze orusupusupu rwazo rwa white baite yaite yenzaro yakabalega so to training emyenda ya myero kitara okuba n'enkoko zaite zenzarwa ntugamba nti nobrabo oli munaku muno hakiri bane enkoko zinga empanga n'enkazi omugaso gw'empanga mugumanyire kandi abo ntugenda omaso ntwegesa myenda ya myero kitara okozesa emibazi yenzarwa enjahi etali yokunywa enjahi eiju ebikola bya mapapali, the barks of a tree of a pawpaw tree, we extract those and make local byona bikorwa in our demo farm Kagadi. Why Kagadi? I'll tell you later. Number 3, on that same note, imported dangers ebizibe bitweretera byonka noleto mubazi nikufokera kamba yaye enkoko zona nizifwa kandi zakubere nizihangara. We also use organic practices tukoze ebintu byayitu hano itaka lyayitu tutange kulihindura tukulihira mukimwe ebintu ebisiso rweze ebyo bowe manyiza herbicides zinu. I'm sorry for businessmen who are here in that category. Bayitu itaka lyayitu tujja kuba train kitwegasize emyaka ekwijja if we continue destroying our soils to that level. We also have beekeeping as a serious project. We have our model farmer now, not in Kagadi. This one is in Kiliandongo South, Kivanda South. Omukuru Lawrence, Nuwe Aine Mizinga, it has around 300 hives, and we have been harvesting at least 3 times ever since this beehiving was established. Obukama tutunga obwoki bwaitu butwekoleire buliyo kubera nteka mu akasimu tujja kugenda tulambula omusajja on to how we can expand on that. We also have clean energy practices or trainings. Abantu tukubadibisiriza kutema makara. Tuine ekizibu kya global warming tubihura amahura ga CNN, BBC baitu hatikiri Hoima etutu ebatutu embeho ebambeho. Mr. Robert alibibaza bagambira how the ozone layer was torn apart and all the technicalities. Baitu tutakahira ozone layer omuntu wa hanso mugamenti we bwoko kya makara okuba no weretereza kusembera haine kituro kyawe. Anytime you will die of hunger and very disastrous outcomes of poor environment management. Tuinayo nutrition mbagengi bagambiro haiguru hali nti abantu baina kule ebyokulya ebikubagasa. Then tuina zoning and demarcation. When we are training people, we train them to zone what they have captured, more especially hankoko enyoro. Enkoko enyoro zo tuzimikisinga na sekoko bakatugamba nti ziruke obubalama. Obubalama, these are serious birds with pointed beaks that take our small chicks. Enkoko nezaro bwana munana nesigazaho 0. Atitwe mu demo yaitu sekoko zaitu zigendera mu nkoko akabala matikali sembera tubantu zoninga tukozesa fence ya mahwa ebijangu tibirabamu n'enjoka naki n'embwa so no sanga enkoko zona nkuzizairwe tukozesa local methods nizikura enkoko tukitunda mtwaro mukaga 5 hakwe banyore jusire kurungi munyetegereza groups is training ile tukora mu structures zaitu twina village chiefs, parish chiefs, county chiefs, sub-county chiefs, abakuras members of parliament and up to cabinet. But we have so far trained obukugu twabahereza bahwiturwa twegeseize aba parish chiefs, village chiefs and 15 county chiefs. County chiefs bano bali ba masaza 15 obukama bwina amasaza gabo 15 represented by each county chief. So bantu bona tukabegesa twayongera twayegesa aba sub county chiefs 17 on the same points that I've given you above. Kuhindura abantu target yetu negamba nti buli chief wena training irwe ahia abantu bandi batano aba training abatano aba training 10 omukyaro kimu. So that our target of having at least 50 trained farmers on a Simsa project, the objective can be achieved. So far, we also embarked on the project of training faith-based groups. Target 150 in the last financial year. Obukama bwaliengaho, we have so far trained 50. Tubahomba Katoliki, Abasilamu, Aba Seventh Day, and Protestants. We're commonly known as Anglican. I don't know whether Anglican still has the vibe, but that is the issue. So, twabegesa on the same issues as Imagambire. We are remaining with 100 groups which have not yet been trained. I think in the next financial year, we can be able to have that with the support of Unoc, because Unoc at least has been with us in the same journey of production. Bana abantu baka training bakandi twabahereza na certificates. Certificates zabo ezo ziroho what they were trained on, and I think they are training out there. Nimalira challenges. One, twina financial inadequacy, of course, as a major problem in society. Obukama tibulinti, we are an income generating kingdom, but turoho kuranch ntwimkya bandi. Number 2, baseline survey and monitoring and evaluation is also been hindered by those factors that I've mentioned above, finance in nature, but tukulenga kuba naba abantu abanywani baitu nka Unoc in this particular note to work with so that we can be able to address those common issues. Then ebyo maiso twina key plan ke kuija. Remember our financial year has just ended together naito tuhondera this calendar year ya government. Our plan is to ebitutegekera koro maiso tugenda kuba tutekaho buli isaza mbagambike twina masaza 15 niko. So buli isaza tukwena tutekaho demo farm. But so far tujigenda kuba tutandika 2 demo farms. Emeja kuba Kikube emwebe buli saviso aho no turozere some fertile grounds to do the needful. Nimbasima muno ombukama nkora nka production and tourism officer ningakwa ninkura sako yabakozi iwayizira hano or candidate wa sake egyo. You are very free to come and join that circle, because as a kingdom we have the mandate to attract revenues. Recently Nabanja, the Prime Minister, was asking me that question, that how many people do you have in your circle? Nabachoked a bit natanga kohora ntamgarukire mukurungi. Why? Because the numbers are quite embarrassing. So it is so far having our circle staff. So all free. Oije tugambire how you can join so that we can tap in that resource, and we shall be giving loans at a very, very small subsidy. For God and my country, kabumba singire omugagwa gwaine abarabe ngoma churaine karuzika etekaine. God bless you. Mr. Robert, when I hear you say kufuna, that is where everybody say kufuna mutwarugum. Kufuna mutwarugum.
Thank you so much for the wonderful speech. That was really very interesting. Tumtere obugaro mukuru wa omusajja ogwo musajja w'amaanyi muno kandi musajja mukozi. abali hano urano yetaga kuyambibwa mu bwangu habukama bwa bunyoro ogwo mukuru Kasagama na manager wa oil and gas Mr. Byaruhanga Robert bantu bamani muno so tubeyambise ku bantu funa okuyambibwa nk'abantu ababukama bwa bunyoro nkemanyira abakusinga obwingi balina bikaguzo bingi bulire bono twakafuna speeches ezikuruga mbata abakwawukana kandi nkubasaba akapapura akatabu kitubahayira kuno obupeni muhandike ebikaguzo byona bimukalina bupeni bulimu n'obupapura bulimu kanihire abakusinga obwingi tubuyina ataine urarora omukozi owa hotel resort hotel imuke omukono ajja kuba nakuhikizaho nakuhereza akatabo abandi urarora muntu wena mukozi wa kitongole ali hano mugambe akuyamba kuhereza akatabo utakaine baita abaine bikaguzo byona mu bihandike tujja kuba tugenda mu question and answer session maiso aho hanyuma wa kufuna consultant owa living earth ajja kuba naturabizamu entanda yatuleteire kandi ono niwe omukugu yaherwa mulimo gwokorora nti yafuna okuseruliriza hamu n'okufuna bitekezo by'abantu ebikuusa okuba nebituyamba ku bantu kwate hamu bagamba ekigambo kufuna takibaza okay at this time I take this opportunity to welcome Living Earth for the presentation.
Musibire muta participants. Yes, Unoc and the convener of this workshop and our client. Abebembezi ba district ya Hoima, Bulisa na endi ezinde zisobora kuba hano abakuru abarugire mu bitongole bya Petroleum Authority, the joint venture team, abanyoro n'abakyara kiro kenu twizire nka Living Earth consultant hamulimo guno gubatuhaire ogwo kuseruza kiki kuletera abantu obutayijumbira mu mirimo yenu ya oil and gas amagita na ruwoya kusanga ngu twina abantu bengi hano baita abandi bali mu programs ezi baita abandi tubalumu kandi programs zino zikaire mu kichweka kino so ntugonza tumanye obwire bwaitu obutwijja kumara hano nka consultants ntugonza tubahure muno tuhurikirize ebikuba kutanga kujoininga ebintu bino ebibasobire Unoc ekitongole kino kiri hano kurora nti kitunga omulingo gokugarukamu ebintu ebi so that nainywe amafuta emirimo yago bwegenda maiso kugatimba koraki nainywe musobole kwihamu ekintu ekisobora kubakonyera ningonza kubanza kukaguza habukuba ndole manya abantu abali murumu muno ekyo kubanza murugire mu bikaro byanyu hamwe kwikara ntugonza kumanya abali omubyobulimi no kurolera amatungo mwimukiye mukono turole abali murumu eno abokuba Uganda ne tugambira ngo abantu abali mirimegi bali nkobuchweka kinana habuli 10 so mwebale muno kuija haloho abali mbyobusubuzi ebyobusubuzi abo nabo ntugonza tumanye bali batabo busubuzi retail shop, abaina eduka entoito n'enkoto, abakusubura ebihingwa ebyobulimi, abali kutunda emibazi pharmacy, abali mu bintu ebikongeraho omutindo nka milling plants, nanyo mwimuke mukono turoli abali hano. Aha, eginayo namba abokuba ninyo mukwijja kukoraki kusupplyinga rundi kuhereza ebintu mukatali akamafuta gano akamagita batu abwire kagambo magita tagali mafuta webale muno. Hati haloho abandi abali mbuhereza mobile money, agent banking, abali mu SACCOs, abantu nkabo abaina saloons, nanyo mwimuke mukono turole abakugenda mukikaleke mwimuke mukono turole ahaiguru muno nanyo abahaiguru. Aha, nanyo tubaboine. So haloho n'abandi abali mu technical and vocational skilling ebyemikono, ekikirumu abaina ababaizi, aba tailors, abakubazira, halumu abo abakuwerdinga, abakwokya ebyoma, halumu abakukanika amasimu, radio, TVs, halumu n'aba boda abakuvuga abakutukonyeraho ombintu ebi, n'aba taxi, nanyo mwimuke mukono turola bali hano. Aha, egi good number, that's a very good number. Mwebale muno kwijja, we are very happy kubarora. Ebintu nemirimo bagigambireho bagibalizeho hano. Petroleum Authority yatuoleka hatusobora kugenda mbintu bino. Hata ntugonza kukaguza tubahulikirize muno ebikubarugaho. Ekyo kubanza ebintu byona tubulire baitu what
program ni bagamba it is going to benefit the village, and they will pick members maybe in churches and mosques, and you find out to be the elder people to involve in these programs, leaving out the youths, us. And another thing is like schools, maybe higher schools like institutions and universities are not involved. And you find out the best way to get information as youths are the schools where we are. If they involve us as early as that time, it may be very possible for us to know. And by the time we move out, we know what to do. You find out like we tukure kigamba magita, tukumanya ntingu buli kimu, o buli muntu agenda kujoininga these programs, aina kubamanyire on only a magita, which I found out is not true after attending this workshop. I'm so happy for everyone who has prepared this. My recommendation is, once we want to start something and let it go, let us start from the roots. And the roots may be either the schools involving the students, universities have agriculture students, and I'm seeing here mostly they are talking about people doing agriculture stuffs. And maybe other programs, health and others may be involved in later. Thank you so much.
Otiomuno, webale, student. Now there is that youth with a red cap in the last row.
Excuse me. I am Alorile Justin, working with Spice FM.
Nja kubaza orunyoro. Enkofira muranganyira tinjagi habo kuba niye ku representing ekinkora. I work for Uzima Chicken. Ntunde enkoko. Nywe problem yange mwebale muno kumpa opportunity enu yokuba ninsobora ku expressinga kiki abwakinta kusobora kugetinga involved omukintu nkekyo. Timanyire why. Nywe obuzibu bwangu bunkuroraho. Kugenda kunanka ku registering a company, it is very expensive. Kigenda kora hati nyowe nk'omuntu wa hansi akwenda kutunda enkoko bakampa omulimu gw'okutunda g'enkoko tinyina sente z'okuregisteringa kampuni tinyina sente ntunda fruits obundo nsanga mu jako nsanga mu vakedo nsanga muki nkugondeze kuba supplyinga kyonka I cannot register the company. How can Unoc help me? Ekyo, that is my word. Thank you very much.
Otakaikalire.
Ego.
Eki nikyo kikaire kikutalibaniza. Hati iwe no habura ki Sinoc mini Unoc esobora kukora ki ku answering kugaruka mu kibuzo kyawe.
Aha. Unoc atinka itwe abatunda ejaka oba vakedo oba bogoya tibasa kutwikiriza tukasobora kuba supplyinga without a registered company.
Okay, webale muno.
Naye webale muno. Kabo you Fred.
Diana,
Kabo you Fred.
There is a lady behind. That lady. Yeah. Ibara lyawe aho kuruga nekyo kukora.
Nyamaizi Judith Justine niga amabara gange kandi ndi mukurasi mukyara Hoima district kandi omukyara aina enterprise erima ebyoli. Ito kabakyara kiki ito tugamba kabakyara Unoc eno inakurugayo ejerole group zaitu habyaro ha village level but somese bongere mutaimule advocacy mu bakazi hansi ekiya kandi ito abakyara batufavoringe okuregisteringa kile 0% abakazi batufavoringe turegisteringe hakaro akasente akakende iroho mwebale muno for God and my country.
Kale webale muno.
I am Alorile Justin working with Spice FM.
Yes.
My concern is the opportunities that you're talking about are usually online. And when you look at our community, some people do not have access to this information. Tuida class yabantu abaina smartphones abasomere abakusa kufuna information eno. Then tuina abantu abandi abakuhuliriza radio. Obundi ni barora TV ni mamanya, okay, this is going on. Then tuina bana abandi abataina access to any information, but they would love to participate, or maybe they have products that they would love to bring to the company, or maybe become suppliers to you. So my recommendation is, could we consider handling each and every one according to their capacities? Abakusa kubani ba registeringa online tuba handling iroko abatakusobora nabo tufuna omulingo tuba kuatam. Thank you.
Okay, webale hati ntukigenda mu maiso numuroro bwire tubuli na wa favor naba ninsaba abaina ntujja kwikiriza abandi bait haloho abantu abaine ebintu byabo byokukaguza no buhabuze bumukutwa mu buhandika hakapapura ntujja kuraba muno papuro butubwiheyo mwebale muno. Yes, go ahead.
Nyama baragange bakunyeta tibenda je Samuel Kuruga Masindi Bujenje hati ekikaguze ekyo
no koraki
nyowe ndi mulimi.
Okay, go ahead.
Ndi mulimi webitoke kantu ina heika 10 ezebitoke aho Bujenja. So nyowe ndomo product ya Living Earth Kuruga Masindi. Okay. I attended Living Earth training. Baito Living Earth etamalire training yaitu okubeka sembesa yoitu mu training tukarora how to manage our business, tuatandika our business, tuakora business plan, hatu twaikire course unity course yo kuregisteringa business mutamalire yo hati busy tuakora business plan tutaregistering twasigara hagati yao then tuinekizi bukindi kya information okusanga mulingo tu opportunities twazitunga kuruga muri magitago ziri limited then ekizibu kindi bunku bandi mulime webitoke nisokola kinga musa skills ebitoke benabikwetaga musa like scientific management of growing crops bikwetaga space kwetaga mu mibazi kurora mulingo nturukize equality ekitoke kigenda kuba nikimitinga standards mwebale munabwe ebyo.
Okay. halo side ya hano halo omukuru ona ikalire hano mu maiso deka nakunu naho tuiheyo nakule haiguru naho tuiheyo kwikionka na abandi muhandika papura mutweke hano no maiso hano tuija naho kuihaho like that
Kiaboga kakiza President State Forum Hoima City. Issue eyange eri about nti leadership has not been engaged and programmed a combined partnership with you kurura disseminating the information up to the grassroots. That's why representative wa chairman wa Hoima district agambirege you are based in Kampala any workshop bwekuwa ne mugenda after going resolutions ezimukuba mukozere timukuzigara to the same people kabaikalire hano but if you could trickle down mukabana offices down kikuyambire muno abantu kumanya information nibatunga information nibamanya na kiki ekiokora ekya kabiri Uganda mu kugimanya na economy yayo capitalization is almost nil. Some service providers and suppliers of other items. Abalo muhoro muno obagambe gaba imukie mikono over 70% balo mu loan. Kande loan is ta kugoba because the interest rate ye loan teku machinga na profit rate. Okusango muntu atungile loan ina interest ya 30%. Kionka when it comes to open market, profit rate is 5%. A loan ne mulemera kusasura at the end of the day ekitu kyona nikikola nibalema kwamu kiloza. And two, mulemera hakintu kya companies. Abantu bano they are peasants abo mukugamba. Ogezere bulisa, ogeze kiryandongo, ogezere kibalo, ogeze kikubi. Okugamba omuntu supplying by a company. Uwo mu organizing rote to supply as a company. Na hali bitandike bye company tabimanyire. Asa kukaguze company kajumaki. Nika kajumaka yaka kasili murundiki. You get the thing? Ebintu mukubijenje kabujenjeka, which is very bad. Ebintu muleke kubijenjeka, you are dealing na abantu kina kintu kiyaka. Hati tu site teba engaged and yet esitenu ni yikaireri host ya oil kurugia kimu exploration in terms of accommodation, in terms of feeding, all participants and what have you. Hati because of oil ina influx yabantu bamanyire Hoima haliyo oil haliyo center haliyo bintu ejuire ina bintu bindi as police nkaiba ba Unoc. You have got to advise the government. Ngo harumwe bintu bikyalakinga Hoima tunge special status in policy making, especially when it comes to health.
Okay. Webale muno.
Almost to Iwaro lim.
Webale muno. We have picked that.
Yes.
And actually Unoc is going to, we are going to summarize everything.
Yes.
Then tulengeho Unoc obweraba ne ukora program zizoke zikukoraki zikugaruka mu bibuzo byanyu.
Yes, at on the issue resolution, on the issue a solution ya financing mbere nisaba Unoc a partnership with Uganda Microfinance Support Center.
Okay.
Habukwa yoniye cyane ho rate ziri hansi.
Kale.
In that into omuntu baratungire tender to supply inyo aba Unoc mumuyambe kumuconnectinga na Microfinance Support Center atunga ka center koreki asupplying accordingly. Abuka abantu bona bayikalira muno omuntu omugambire ga kusupplyinga enyanya a ton every week tasa kusupplyingira omwezi.
Kale otyo muno ekya sente tuketegerize webale muno mutero mungaro ayihire ebintu bingi hatika tuhure ogo omunyoro no ali enyuma ya
otyo muno moderator But we'd like also you to consider this upstream so that we can also be part of the participation.
Yes, omukururi. Kale webale muno ekyawe nakyo tukitwire. Leka tuhure omukuru owekitiinisa ono nawe view ye.
Webale muno director wa Living Earth. Unoc, I am wondering, Habukuwa mukuru wa Living Earth has been here for some good time. I am imagining he has gotten the gist in the field. Habukuwa kaijaira na project ya EU has been here. He got another $1 billion dollar project with the Total Energies and is in the field. And now you have given him an opportunity also to do another baseline study in the Bunyoro. Harika Surubani egenda kuba nekora ne tandika exploration ya mafuta. At this time round, Kasurubani is sitting on Kingdom land. And Unoc and Living Earth has never stepped in the kingdom as a key stakeholder in this regard during the implementation of the oil and gas related projects. We have been hearing their projects elsewhere, but they have never come to the kingdom. Now that Kasurubani is sitting on the kingdom land, I want to see how he's going to progress with his activities and baseline studies without coming to the king for consultation on how best they can implement the activities. Nevertheless, we know there are quite a number of challenges that our people are facing. We know POW has been helping the people and to register on national supply database in collaboration with the kingdom, but there are still key challenges of training the people to understand how best they can register on a national supply database. But again, the biggest challenge, if the biggest contract is given to GCC for supplying the Tilenga project, where do we find GCC as people of Bunyoro? Basabu contracting, the likes of Thomas and company, the one who supplies the UN military, the one who supplies the South Sudan, the one who supplies in Congo, and they never come here in Bunyoro to tell the people that these opportunities are available, that they can even get opportunities, products from people around here. So if we don't have establishments, Bunyorohan, is with the warehousing and cold rooms where you can find these people, still a local person cannot supply anything to the oil and gas industry. So my advice would be that, in a collaboration with the government agencies, including our leaders, to engage the contractors to come on ground so that we can know where they are. And if we get to know where they are, we can mobilize our people to ensure that we have that collaboration for supplying this oil and gas industry. And now we're even having the airport coming. The airport is going to have cold rooms for agricultural products. And they're also going to have warehouses around here. How have we best mobilized our people to prepare to supply the international exportation of these products to other parts of this world? So we don't have to look at asking us here, what is our challenge? Our leaders are here and they know what to do. The industry has not come tomorrow. Since 2006, the industry has been here and we have all the leaders, they know what to do to prepare the people in this region to ensure they get into supplying and these oil and gas companies. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We take note of that. Let him say something, and then we shall also hear from Hodifa.
Okay.
After him.
Okay, sir. We thank you so much.
I thought you had finished.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Because I was giving...
You finish.
Okay, sir, thank you. Kubasima muno, mwebale muno kuija, kandi ninihiro kuija kwanyu, tuija kugoboramu ekyamani. Amabara Irumba Francis Isabarongo, engineer by profession, but William down the road, habwaki. Bantu bamukama obutugenda tunura mu embeera mberi tulina na mberi tugenda, we are really surprised habwaki bwire buno ngambiraga abayusi emyaka yaitu enu nti within 2 years ahead ojja kusanga obundi na management eyamaka nekoraki netulema habwaki abayusi kutwaliza hamu hona tunagirizibwe kandi twale kwenyuma tweberwe ntingu nyenkya nitwe tugenda kuba ntutwara eihango maiso na buli kimu kiona nja kusaba Unoc nko kumwizire mwatekamu amaani mukonsideringe eminyeto okurora ntingu nabo yaba fully engaged muno omumirimo yona habokuba munkuba nindora hakipande kyanyu hali nkurora haro bintu bingi muno so singa muizira kimu hansi kuno mukaitira neminyeto mukatekaho a training institution mu different courses nyenke mujja kusanga abayusi bafunire mirimo kandi bongeire muno nokoraki nokukora na amani hamu nokwekamba mutyo muno mwebale
muno. Let us hear this one and then after that Hodifa.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you very much.
Brief, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
My name is John Mwesugwa.
Yes.
I work as a health consultant.
Meanwhile, abakuhandika ebikaguzo byabe bindi ntugonza mwemukyo papuro babwiheyo. Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
My name is John Mwesugwa. I work as a health consultant with PayPal. It's a UK-based organization. And I'm born here, but I'm based in Kampala. The challenge which I've seen is, in addition to what my colleague has said, there's limited community engagement and participation of stakeholders at this local community, whereby it is very important for people to be involved at different levels of this project, whereby it comes in terms of the baseline assessments, the design, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation. But most companies come to the stakeholders in the community when it comes to monitoring and evaluation. So I'm encouraging Unoc and other stakeholders and partners involved to engage stakeholders at all levels. And also, there is that element of corruption in the key offices which make decisions on these companies which are going to supply. So it is a big problem which we need to handle, all of us as members of this country. But corruption is really there and is real in this oil sector. And I'm telling you, people in Hoima, we need to work hard and lobby for this if we're going to benefit from this company. Because workshops will be held, yes, and they are good, but at the end of the day, if there is no fairness from the top, I'm telling you, even if you're on the bottom, we shall not benefit from this. Thank you.
Okay. Hodifa, take it to Hodifa. There. There. Diana. Time. Please, mutho papurovu mubulete kuno maiso.
Webale waitu omukurukuruga omukitongole ekyogambireho hano amabara gange banyeta Mbahera Johnson ndi hano ku representing Hodifa Hoima District Farmers Association nkusima Unoc habwa omusomo guno kandi okwange kuli kutotoroma ebalizibwaho binu byona Hoima District Farmers Association tubikozere kandi tuyinabi. We are registered with National Suppliers database and we have ever supplied akatale kanu akamafuta akamagita tukasupplyingiraho iraitwe oyo omukolole kiyaruka kubaza hansi ekya corruption. I will not say who or who by tukyo kiroho. Now kiki kutanga ito kutagobora omubutale bunu ngonza kwabera bamazima kali katale abalimi tuyinabo tuyina mutwaro gumu plus bakulima ebintu bikwawukana kandi betekanize tuyina ebyo kukozesa ebyo mulembe ebikora value addition tuyina kyoma ky'omucheri tuyina dryer tuyina ekyoma kikusya ebicholi tukupakinga kyokka bw'ogenda mu katale omukiikaro ky'okutunga akatale akakusobola kumalayo ebyokulya by'abalimi LPOs is trying to tunga local purchase order bakutwala omuntu butayito. At the end of the day ebintu byali byonna ne bibaawo. Gavumenti etuwaire store y'amaanyi tugisiima. Bakuteekaniza n'okutombekera warehouse ey'omukulu abalina abazaho. Abantu kuba accessinga agenda kutunga loans omu microfinance institutions. Bali nosanga ng'obakutuuka ebintu byabo tebinaho okugenda. Tukusaba gavumenti etuteekereho muno obulyo. Kulanga ebintu byate tutuukize. Mazima ko bitungira akatale. But otherwise we are very prepared. We have everything as far as supplying is concerned. Tutulina kikutubulamu. Bakama bange okusaba kwange okukulayikirizibwa njagalulayo okusaba ku mu office yange ya Hodifa nti mazima ko mugenda kuteekerezaho. Mu busumu butali buwahara bagenda kuombeka warehouse receipt system ebaawo ha office zaitu. Omukuru bw'akuba inayikiriza nkumutwalira office zaitu za Hodifa tuteekanize buli kimu kyono obuyonjo bukubazibwa watu bwine okiro code room yokanike kutubulamu ebyetaago ebikutubulamu. But otherwise we are fully prepared. Mwe bali muno amabara gangi nyomba era Johnson busawo kikutubulawo akatale nikyo kikutubulawo.
Mwe bali muno obulemezi buli hakatale hariho omuguruso ono wa Kingdom muhe akazindara. Twetaaga obupapuro bwikale nibwija
webale muno
awokuba akaire kaitu kaliyo nikakenderera kimu
webale muno ku nkoma y'omugurusi n'obukayikuru. You know ibara lyange ninyo Joseph Isingo Makirifoda myaka 83 ngira ninyo nkira kimuhano obukuru abantu bona ekyange kiri abagurusi n'abakayikuru inyumweko mukukoma yaba abato mutamanyira hali bakuruga inywena nisima president ayatekereza abagurusi n'abakayikuru kutwa senti za seji myaka 8 hata atekerezeho n'abagurusi n'abakayikuru abaine myaka 6 kukanga 95 yaleta program ya SEGOP social grant for older persons tukuregistering hatimba iningamba niyo koma abantu kandi otandikire kubaza n'ogwe byange tojja kubihura kambanze ndindo malogo yabakanyegesa nyowe omuntu mukuru nabaza kantu soba kubaza baki yayongera kubaza ati ngamba iwe nkugamba iwe abagurusi n'abakayikuru Unoc
ndiyo nimbahandike byo
mubatekereze omuta habwokuba nyonkuruga Bulindi Town Council kandi ndi kansala w'abagurusi n'abakayikuru Bulindi Town Council. Beregistering baina certificate zaabu halevekyo tumanyirwe hati inywe abasinoka Unoc manya wiki ebyo
genda maiso.
Yes inywe my recommendation mwije mututeekanize kurungi nk'okutuli habwokuba tukora enterprises pigare sikeni hearing poultry yeah petre manyira omuntu bwokakura n'olulimi lukyama
webale muno
baitu ninsaba ba Unoc mwije mutubungire Bulindi Town Council mulole na groups zaitu muziregisteringe kandi muzikonyere habwokuba omuntu wakakura buli ogaruka ombuto bakukonyera hati tulozere Unoc inyo mwije turasemerera muno
otyo muno
webale muno
omugurusi tusemereirwe muno ebintu byawo byona twabihandika hansi hata abakuru baingi ntugonza muhandike obwire bwatwaho write those things mbahandike twina team hali eriyo nebukora nebujotinga down twijja kubirora ibintu byawo
mutyo muno abatekaniza ninyowe Supplier biribonwa kalizo akiki rugondora kuruga kibale waitu wa living earth ekikagujo kyo tukagwize ekiyange kiringu information dissemination teka mazireyo bichweka bya bunyoro yona by sampling na kusabire abarugire Greater Kibala bali hano muhanike emikono ogwange guli ningiro kiyeroleire workshops and trainings zibayiroho nyingi muno tukubasima baitu zikizire kuba omuhoima hanu kandi kyaisha nabo bukama rundi umutekaniza ate twagwera side yemu twaye bwangu naitwe Kibale tuliyo kandi kuruga kara ombuhangwa nenyikara yekichweka kino Greater Kibale ni tutatuli the food basket ya bunyoro tikuli kubeiha nabeke ngonza kubasaba ngu emisomo ginu rundi neginde gikwijo maise gikusana nkahanu gituiko naitwe om Greater Kibale nimbasaba muije Kibale particularly because it is the center for Greater Kibale omurani mugonza ho kuikara ndabahereza ho kuikara kandi naito mutusomesa nabantu baitu batunge kumanyisibwa ekikyo kubanza kya kabiri mpulireyo msaija abaliza kuruga masindi agambire ngo bakatunga training of 40 participants trained by Unoc timanyire omba training ro makabamu owakibale baraba yabayirimo musaija mukuru omungambire nuko ngenda afamu yanyegese baraba tabayiremu nkusembesa ini nkaguza aba Unoc is it possible kikusoboka abakibale twekole mu omulimo tusoroza abasigazi abasaija bakuru na abakazi abagonza kusomesebwa murayija mutusomese omuramu ikirize chikoro mulimo gundagwebembera kandi ho kusomesebwa ndabaherezaho kirani kyetagisa kulima the training ground farmland ingine nayo ndagihayo waitu webale muno okusaba kwango kunukongonza kumanya omuramu likaija mu kwija dihi mumpe contact tutandikira omwebale muno Supplier biribonwa akiki rugondora kuruga Kibale karuguzi
katuhure oli omuvubuka omunyeto ali haiguraho hati naiwe tuhe byawe then tujja kuhuraho umuntu omuzei hanu then tumalirize
ngonza kusima moderator
muhandike please
yeah ngonza kusima moderator na Unoc yona okutwara hamu amabara gange ni nyobusinge Richard Amoti mwana zarwa Yohana ati waitu mkuru bogendo tunulire abantu bonka bayikalire munda hano abateirwe BLQ namba nkoto abateirwe alliance esente zabo nibageza ku investing in niko bafune namba nkoto singa nkainywe nka Unoc mukatukolera yoga investment nkezo naito tukafuna hali tukusha kuteka akasente kaitwa ka mufuna mpora tikiyakubaire kibi mukama wange inye mutwale sente zaitu muzikozese ntekayo seeding zanga 10 muzitwale muzikozese kimukwenda oba muziholo omuntu muzikoleki at the end of the month nanyo mumfunire kimuku mpere zai tinkina mbuzibona instead yokuterwa BLQ nkaterwa alliance nkaterwa bank charges zonka esente tuzitamiro kikani tuziteka mu banka nyenki akara musana rwebagyo ni bakutema charges instead mutufunire investments sinkezo bambi
okay
otyo muno amabara ninyo wetu muhimbise Enoka ndugire mu kitongole kya Kihabwem Development Company tukora mu byobulimi kira muno mwani kusomesa kugara omutindo ensonga endesere kuli kwetombo itwa kimu tukutekereza company zini zibahaire oku emirimo obako subcontracting nti titukufuna mirimo itwa abasomera hati nkanyoka some byobulimi binda mu kumara emyaka 5 baito gena noteka ya application tohura na kugaruka mugam nundi wewe titukwahiri no gamba oba baina ba technical know oba kiki so tukwenda emirimo egyo mugirange ebe transparent kandi tumanye nti omuntu warabatire muri application nti aragarukwamu so tukwetaga naito tufune mu byaki bya magitagano mwebare muno
okay leka tumalirize na assistant na city council here ono wa Hoima city mayor abandi muhandiko papura nitujja kutabara
otyo muno mukuru wa Living Earth n'abatekaniza boona amabala Sylvia na Lumaga bali esima deputy city mayor tinkugenda garukamu ebindi bibazibwira na muno lack of information yes kibairoho tingenda kibazaho muno betu nkwenda kuongereza habibaire bigambiro hoira ekintahulire nikigambibwa kandi kikunduma nkomwe kulembezi tubere ntusomesebwa hano tukizoire ngu ebikwetagisa ku registering a database amazima gali bire bit complicated kusigikira abantu baitu obutugaruka hansi on ground nkabe kulembezi tulengeroho sharing information nokulengaho kubatekaniza but not all can make it in time twabe encouraging ku partneringa rundi kubaho company kutugambira ezitwairira omugiso ogwo okwemiga ha company ezo bete ekizibwe kiroho ekinkwenda Unoc kukonyera abantu baitu nti okusanga nibamigirizibwa ombigambo byemihendo abakuru bala bakutwara company mukubalekera obugabe bwingi na ija nwena determininga n'omuhendo okugula ekintu halo omulimi wa hansi hati nosanga omulimi n'atarabaho akasente ako nikaba katito muno kandi if not oli mukamwa company wena agenda n'akora akasente akakiziroho kyaletereza abantu baitu abandi okuba discouraged n'abandi butemigira omigisa nk'egyo bayinisaba abantu baitu abararugayo kupata naringa n'ebitongole biraba bitwaire opportunities ezo bibe protected abehe emihendo ekubagara mu amaani nuko tusobola okugobora obungaruka haki emirimo itwenka Hoima city yes tuli city but tuinamu abaana baitu rundi abantu abakusobola kukola emirimo no beraberi casual work hata obukikwika local content nosanga tu compete on ground kuli n'omuntu ali ha ground kuli henyini no narugira city nikitanguha bayinisaba abo considerations kusigikiraga habichweka ngeri bunyoro erinkoto mwebale kumpuliriza
okay kale finally katumalirize nono kyonka mutho papura abataire mukona higuru muhandike mutho papuro 5 more minutes okay all right
webale muno amabara gange bera heru Joffrey obeta rundi headmaster omwana ekyo kubanza no kubanza kaguze ekyo kagwize kibaire kirungi muno kikeki kulemesa ekikulemesa kiringu government na Unoc na bakaguze bikaguzo mukaguze bikaguzo baite mutaina asa habo kwa abantu baija they will fall in an empty swimming pool. You are presenting yourself as if you have the solutions, but this is a company, you are a company. For example, if you have put in place a procedure of how a company should be registered, they are asking you, can you listen on the procedures? You would tell them straight that, look here, no, until God reduces maybe a kid from being produced from 9 months to 6, because you are in a hurry. It can't be. So you need to be very straightforward. That's why in the beginning, even the government was complaining. You heard of the chairman, the representative of the chairman, LOC5, was complaining that you have not involved the local people, the local councils in the oil sector. And you would honestly tell them that, look here, we don't have the capacity. We are also relying on other people. We have a small stake. Now, because of that constant deception in the public, the companies, Unoc, the government itself, then we live in deception.
Okay, we have noted. They've allowed me 5 more people. Yes.
Webale muno mukuru as Living Earth. Nyama baragange banyita Musinguzi Patrick. Ndi mulimi kandi musubuzi. Ensonga enkuru etusemere kuseka etusemere kurabya mama ise ensonga yo kuhandulinga aba youth.
anka representative wa LC5 agambirege gali mazima Unoc mwina kora na local governments asabu county level mutekeho omuntu akola yezinga na bintu bya mafuta mukwatangane na government murolengo at least every county mutelo skilling center itu tukurure kya lero kinu ngo tukwenda gobora tukwenda tulire tukoze tutapete tule future ereta on various ways bana abayusu bako batabenga ijengiro mu mafuta mbintu ya mafuta in future bagenda ku becoming the security threat of this country. Another thing, these abnormal strikes nkimanyira mugya kuombeka pipeline hano bajja kubataliba ze pipe byanye byona bintu byona offices bazoki abakubati they are not satisfied with what you are doing. I'm sorry. For the time being, I'm stopping from there. But my prayer is that you involve the youth, at least every county, muteko skilling center, mubafosinge, mubasomese, mubengejinge, mbintu ya mafuta binu. Okay. Thank you very much.
That is noted. Can we hear from you?
Hello. My name is Mwesigwa Richard, but better known as Senior Carpenter Kigaragara. I am a professional carpenter as well as a journalist. I have 3 questions, and I will be brief. Soon after Sandra Wobsobozi, there is a gentleman who presented his program. He said that you are working hand in hand together with other companies and you are overseeing Kabalega Airport, ensuring safe working environment and security. My question is, you have been on many occasions writing Kabalega without double E. Depending on our culture, that word is written, Kabalega. It refers us back to how Kabalega was born from far away in Congo. In our local language, when someone is from far, we say, he's in Bulega, Ali Bulega. Secondly, it refers us to how Kabalega was a fierce fighter. The process of fixing an arrow on a string of a bow, that process when you are tensioning that arrow as a projectile which will go forward to make a good destruction, we say kulega. It makes sense when you say kulega, kabalega. Even if you are writing a signpost on the other airport, it should be double E, kabalega, not kulega, kabalega. No. The second one is, you are talking about constructing the oil refinery here at Kabalega Industrial Park. But you have been talking about constructing a refinery in Tanzania, and that process of constructing a pipeline is there. What enticed you to change it from Tanzania to here in Kabalega Park? Because so many have been quarreling that, shall we go to Tanzania to be employed from there, or our sons and daughters? Then, he who came soon after Sandra said that 4 projects are doing exploration work. In other words, of course, they are finding new oil. They are doing some new findings on oil wells. When will that project end of finding out oil wells? Until Jesus comes back, or? I'm Mwesigwa Richard, better known as Senior
Moderator.
Thank you.
Amabara ni nyo Godfrey Mugisa. Ni nkora na kampuni kweteba Govern Engineering. Ninja kusima Unoc. Mukumanya kwange Unoc ekairoho from the inception. Chonkati you have come down to do these engagements. Njakira kozo orunyoro. Kwa nkwenda abantu bange betegereze. Ekimwizire kukora kiro kinu. Ki kairoho hano with the Total and Sinoko. Abantu bange nkwenda kubagambira enkora yabwe enkuru mno kujenjeka bano hati inywe aba Unoc muri baitu bana Uganda omusoro gwange ngugu basasura inye nkubagambira straight bali tinkusaki bagambira ko batubuzabuza berambanda. Come down to the people, mubagambire ensonga eterekereire. Me as a local person ndandi mulimi ndiki inkutahira munkaha. Enkora yanyu ati Unoc teri hane jya kutandika manya tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 of suppliers. Bantu baizena detail information bali baijana nayo. Tier 3 $1 trillion wakiabagambira zisobo. tier 2 $1 billion, tier 1 $1 billion. Hati chonka nyegesa nyowa hansi hano obundani ngenda kupata na ringa nogo contractor wawe tier 2 wa 10 kubanta nkutandikira nka namba 2 umusajja wa hodifali nka ngunu hano webale muno waitu eki abagambire nebintu bagambye ajja kugamba ngo mazima abasajja abakoze mulimo gwamani muno chonka aba contractor banyu aba bamwina mutiya za nywezo abakiro wingi bakuyiba abantu baitu bayizira hano bakugambire tukwende nyanya bende zitaro kadoti obazi zinakuba nizera zigiro mwiguru timanye hati bamazire kuhereza condition ezo cyara abantu baitu nibaruwanangana nko musajja nuko akugambire begisiza abali mibangi nibaturukiye nyanya ezo nibazisoroza hati nibagende batunga yo contractor wanyu ka GCC manyabo habo najja natwara kilo kinu na bagamba quality yanyu terinongi ekikuhondera na lete zirugire kapchorwa ezirugire mbali ekimujja kuroro mahure mukakiro ejweraho ntya ebyo okuliya Hoima Bunyoro biri so expensive no kusinga Kampala. Is that true? Chonka abo omukuru likiyagambire corruption yabwo okuo nibakwolekya nti inya bayino ko mwikalire Kampala mukutandikira doorstep kampuni kiri hano GCC. And you write for us, you come and tell us here auntie, we have given local companies work. Mukangira aho kuija kutujoga. We have companies down here, omusajja gwa kugambire, they even went ahead and bought a refrigerated vehicle. Kugambire. You're transporting materials zitwara ifoko. Chonka kubajerega bujerega. There is a company eri hali omuyombe ko ya diocese bujumbura hali. Bageta Pure Grow. Yabanyankoleka kuli abo nkabana bakabega tusapaze no kubatera bayibira ibira abali mibaitu hano over supplying ebintu kukusasura becomes a problem. I'm one of those. For now tugende maismo yabali muno.
Okay, can you give to the other gentleman, the youth with the heart, the one with the heart behind? We are left with 3, the one with the heart behind. 3 people and then we finish.
Mabara gange ninyo ya yebale Ibrahim ati nyoembe ni saba bakaguzaho umanyire ba youth turumva ingi muno tuhura scholarships nayo tukwenda ku upgradinga kuba saa zino twina mba engineers abanansi n'abandi bayitu network godize tufuna akachansa ako tukole kitu upgrading mu courses zaite zitukora nibyebyo nokuyabo aba youth ikora kikufuna emilimo nka magita.
Okay, tusigaize omuntu omu
mwebale muno bakamu bange mwebale kutulaliza okwijana.
Okay,
muleke tumigirisa abokuba mutwesere kuuliriza kuruga halitwe nawe kinye no mutatu gambire kyonka ite tusoke tukoleke tubagambire bitukwenda bagambira information kube etakutuhika niye ensonga waki okulanta abantu yatakweta muno mu programs ezijja kulakulaniza ebya mafuta oba nabo kufuna nkulakulana kugobora amafuta kyonka omukolese Spice FM kurangira that abantu tuije kyalero kinu numbers sinu zibakora kubi mukolese media centers okusaturating information regarding the oil companies, regarding the oil industries. Awokwe kijja tuyamba kuikia information kuikira kima muntu wa hansi mana nuko bayingi bali mbyaro ko bagihulira information ero rundi basako ale mesibu abo ibindu bata okulaba ijja mukishega kino kyonko mukolesa media centers tukulora information ekutaha kandi nekoraki ne tugobora ero ntongera koraki kuuliriza kurugalinyi. Recommendation yange eri government etandikire na budget kuruga hansi okonoranti tuku running trillion zinka musanju kyonka ati ijweri the current budget tukuraningira trillion za 5 na zinga na 3 mana nuko murani murumirwa omuntu wa hansi ni murumirwa musigazi ni murumirwa omuntu wa Bunyoro okura yagoboro mafuta mbaye ninsaba Unoc nge kitongole ki representing the government of Uganda
expand the budget. Leke kuhura nti abantu ana nibo bonka ba trainingirwe a program eso ku improving on agriculture. Uko munda muntu tulimu abantu nka 10,000 but kuhura just 40 out of the thousands of the youth there nibo abantu be trained. 27 akiri mwenera jingo niyo budget kura nti akiri maybe abantu nka 5 batendekerwe. Niko abantu 5 baba batendekerwe oja kwesanga nti muja kwanga ku achieving your goal. Mwebale muntu.
Okay. Bring it here, lastly, on that gentleman next to the camera, here, and then we finish. Abasigaire, please, muhandika papuro. Tuanza tukapucharinge bintu binu byona.
Wale mno wetu moderator na consultant wetu. Simile muno funa chance kana. Baitu mbaye munkozere kubi mukagwizege bikaguzo bibiri itwe ba technicians ziti mwatwa chance. Nkaguzo nkubasaba muramu inayo bikaguze binde mwe tukaguza. Kaguzo mulimi, kaguza welder, kaguza driver, so nko itwe natuvatire hamwe. Amabara niyo John Bosco Kibuka nta welder mbaire karuma uko ntukora dam ya 600 megawatts kuruga 2013 na rugayo mu lockdown muri mugwange gwaho mpandikire applications nyingi haihi kutachweka na kigere ni ndo bata kutoza offices ani nagendaga usanga y'abasirikale ba security mutwara ya leta application bagenda akoraki tugenda kuitwara yo baranga emisomo ku training aba welders ngutujja kugambira online nagenda ho bulisa netwalira application nkaika gate banga matoko kirizwa kutawa munda umusirikala kungamba gimpereze ngenda gikutwalira. Is that transparent? So please offices zireke kuba byombeko nebyapa tukwenda tusangemu abakozi mwebale muno.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hata akasumikanu mwebale muongere kuandika papura. I hand over to the MC, main MC for now. Mwebale muno.
Thank you so much. Kandi nkubasima hawo kaguze birungi. Bayini saba mwetere mu bugaro. Nkabanya Uganda, nkabanya Bunyoro, nkabanya Hoima nebitweka biherereo mwina kwirwa nabo. Tinuko. So na bwekyo mukagwize kurungi kandi kikumanyisa ntingu tubayintu following and honderera. Harimo bikaguze bibaire very obvious. Bayini saba munyikirize abantu abali hano ono mukuru arubasire yaruga kuri hona yagamba kayijaye hikire hano kankwe sekendi asa tuzonka ukaguze kaguzo kyawe
otyo muto mwebale muno kuyija amusomo guno amabara ndi tusabe Victor manye woba no somesa omwana omusomesa ayihemeki okutina kubaza mubantu nyombo ine ntakusa kuyikara kulimpanikira omukono timayemba yebutakunde babo kubugufu tinkumanya chonka ensonga enkure endesere hano nkwenda ku opening up mind y'abantu abanyura abanyakitaranya kyaitu buli muntu akuimuka kubaza kugamba nyowe nkusima bakatwegesa kulimenya anya bakatwegesa kulime bitoke people mwina kuimuka muketegereza nyowe nkujja nkakwegesa kulime bitoke nkuyisana ko omuntu akugambire kwata engano ntakwegeseze ku mulingo ojja kusike chapati ogiguzo ojja kwega kulimenya anya zawe ozirime tokumanya procedure ki eyogenda kujoininga company to start to be a supplier of a company. Winkuba ni mpabuza muno how many local contractors abogamba abantu bali bomu Hoima bakatwara contract yo kusupplying ebyokulya mu mafuta oja kwesanga contract zona ba signing on top iwo bayegeseze kulimenyanya tomanyina ho kutandikira kugenda akoraki kuzitunda yo timanyire iwe oja wokuba no sima okusimaki habo okuba kuruga enyuma abantu mutahagani mulimenyanya mutandike zirima Unoc izire kuwa kikumanyisa kubegesa kulimenyanya tikiri kihiyaka ekihiyaka kiri obubayizire inyo mugoborere mutamulibo kuija so kuikala ni mugamba omanye kusoekereza kitaka kintu kibi ngo icho tukusima mwebale kuija chonke enyanya abantu batagani bakoraki nebitoke batagani babirima what ekinkubaza kiri kimu open up mind for the people abantu mbagambe if there are direct opportunities I'm saying murotating abantu that indirect mukole kinu mulinking to the company. Why are you not coming up saying on board nka company we have ABCD people with qualification come up and take up direct jobs? I have not heard about that.
Summarize. So
in your company murabani muimuka you have to come direct with clear information, not coming on side ingirege no musajja wa vitu hodifa. People are telling you ebitu bayinabyo, everything they have to add value on agriculture products bayitu ekikuru kiri bigenda bita kuija mu company contractors bakubafuna bata okufuna omuntu na akufera mpayo zinu oja supplying agenyanya ne sente naziria ne nyanya no tazituwara inazo no diva nazo hati no role kimungu ekiroho tikiroho mwebale muno.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for the wonderful questions. Kandi akaire kano nkwenda kusima nywena bakaguze bikaguzo. Kionka haroho ensonga emo bayibirizi nakugondeze ku clarifying abairo mukuru aruge kibale nakaguza obatukafuna yo omuntu akuruga kibale. Omanye training yabali myana tukabatendeka nka aba trainers. It was trainer of the trainers. So bakatendekwa kugenda basomesa abandi. Tutakitwala nti mbunyoro yona tukakoma mbantu anabonka so nabweke wakibale abakuru bale hali kuruga mukama bwa bunyoro omuntu ayarugire kibale bajja kuba ne bamukukwasa sacha toso kuba no kwatagana nawe tuli hamu. So nekintu ekindi ebikaguzo bitukagwize hano bibayire nibituyamba nka abantu okumanya itwe nka abantu ababulikiro omanya amagezi gakirangana mutu hayire bitekeze birungi kandi tubihandikire nikyo kula yuroke karuga yafuna consultant kimanyisa omuntu obukugu akwetegereza field egyo akahebwa omulimo ogwogenda maiso n'okwetegereza abantu bakutalibanizibwa ki kandi tukoze kutakulura nti nikyo kulura complaints zizire nizibaho zona kurugayira twakugondeze nke kitongole kyanyu kya asimire nawe tumusime hakuba are recognizing our effort and that's why we are and we're not going to stop here, we are going to continue doing this. So omukaire kano nja kusaba okutangira abakuru abarugire district tuinaho RCC wa Itali hano naitwe kandi tutakaba garuka mu feedback okuba abakuru bano bakapcharingire buli kimu bajja kwija batuhe batusobole ebyo bibayihire muri inywe such that turolengeri yokuba ntubi handlinga kimu hakimu turolengeri ki interventions ki kizejja kuba nekozesa kuranti abantu twasokuba ntubayamba tujja kora gwaitu bait nanywe mwina wujunanizibwa wokora gwainyo. So at this time I want to welcome the RCC to come and give his remarks and then we shall go into feedback from our consultant and then we'll be able to close preferably at around 1 if all goes on well. Thank you so much.
Webale muno Robert kutandika kwa byona munyikirize manyirire kandi ntekemo kitinisa ingabo za president RDC kuruga mu Hoima district mugenzi wange Deputy Resident City Commissioner kuruga mu Hoima East hamna Deputy RDC kuruga mu district bibyo kwerinda n'abakozi ba government Riso Oil and Gas joint venture partners abaroho that is Unoc yebembeire Sinok hamna Total barabaroho n'aba partners abali muri muguno gwa Oil and Gas abatakumanya amabara gange ni nyowe Badru Mugabi kandi ndi resident city commissioner wa Hoima City runi ndi ngabo ya president mu rubuga runu. Nyenda muno ha mikoro nkenu kugamba nti until 2022 ebiro bikaba 23 nkaba omu habakozi ba Total Energies kandi ndi public relations officer. So industry nayo nkugimanya kwa kagikoramu kandi ati ndi mu rubajiro wa government. Kandi obwiro bonanyonyali nka Robert ndomu habantu abaku moderating kandi hati ndomu habantu abagarukamu the grievances run the concerns is abantu kyonka kinkwenda kunotinga ekyo kubanza kiri the concerns then are still the same concerns now kwetombo ita okwa abantu kwa bayiro buli emirimo akatale nebindi nibe bikyakora ki ebikyageno maiso runi nibe bikyaroho. What is the problem? And that is the question Unoc, Sinoc, Total and all partners should be asking. What is it that we have not done that people are still lamenting about? Why should we continue lamenting for 2-3 years over same issues? Harubajirwa government hakwati buyo bunu kubaliriza government. Government eteireho obulyo bokurantingu eteireho abantu beyongere production and productivity. Habokuba ota increasing the production, then the oil and gas companies will continue saying they are no goods busobyo kutunda. So government yateko programs kuongera ho ebyobulimi kandi no kuongera ebikuruga mu byobulimi rundi productivity. Nikyo mukuru abahodifa bagambire government ebahaire ebyoma ebikusunsuro muchere tubahaire warehouse nebindi nabalime mu groups batungire this support from government and very many interventions ACDP and others is zero. Twina bulking centers and value addition centers all over the district and the city. Why? To improve production and productivity. Kyonka abantu tikikwihaho twaleko na programs ezini kwiki abantu to affordable credit services nke myoga nka PDM skilling center nebindi bintu ikarantu bibazaho ha radio. But why habaki abantu bakyayetombo ita habwaki the companies are still complaining the locals don't have the required quality to supply. Why is it there? Nike kihabuzo kituna kubantu koraki nituwekaguza hano. Ekia kabiri, we are teaching people to go to the national supplier database. Ohabu izega hana abasigazi nsinge ento abateire CVs zabo ha national supplier database. Bali baingi muno. But again we go ahead and advertise. You know, I thought that when you have accredited suppliers or source of a product, then you go from that list and pick. But we still advertise, and sometimes people who are not on the database come and also compete with these ones who are there. That's why maybe they are not appreciating the essence of being registered or enrolled on the national talent, the national talent database and the national supplier database. So we need to ask ourselves, we have pushed people. I am one of the advocates who have told people to enroll, to register on the national supplier database. For the youth to go on the national talent register. But when we are recruiting, when Living Earth is recruiting, when GCC is recruiting, when MSL is recruiting, do they pick these people from the national talent database? This should be $1 million question. Is it being put to use such that the led appreciate the importance of being listed on the national supplier database? Once we answer that, then we'll take off. Then the other issue that I want to kinkwenda kubazaho kambazo runyura kwatulimuka. Eirabuli twekaragan tugamba bekaragan nibajerega abanyoro runda abantu abali bunyoro. Ntitibaina ebyokulima. I now want to speak as a farmer. I'm a poultry farmer and a commercial poultry farmer. There are also beef farmers and other farmers who have the right quality. We have been arguing with those consumers in the oil and gas industry to buy from us. The starting point was quality. We tried to improve quality and we got access to supply. I'm speaking now as a what? As a farmer. But the problem is payment. Hariho omuntu akibalize gehali. You know, I'm a leader, I'm not supposed to speak to kubaza amabara ga company bajagamba I damaged them. But their companies we have supplied as farmers, ni mamara ni bakugamba we lost your invoice. Yes, we lost your invoice. Then you re-invoice. Then they tell you the invoice was misplaced. There are farmers who have come to me because I've mobilized them. Then they nibakugamba invoice ebuzire mirunde esatu. I am one of them, Badru Mugabe. Where someone where I supplied my birds about 4 months ago, worth over 2 million, kyonka kugamba re-invoice, and I've re-invoiced but I've not picked my payment. So abantu bakwenoba. Abantu bakura ntubakora ki tutakubahereza kitu kugamba. We are not walking the talk. Ekiakandi, we have advocated as this region to have a bulking center because we have 10 farmers abali Bulindi, we have 10 farmers abali Kigorobia, we have 10 farmers abali Busuwekera na hand. When you add up, there may be 1,000 who can supply maybe poultry or any product. Can we have a bulking center in Hoima? After having this bulking center in Hoima, we empower those consumers like Pure Grow, like GCC, MSL and others to open up to these suppliers for as long as they conform to the required quality and standard. They bring their goods, you give them even if it is 30 days, for as long as they accept to wait. Ntibunda supply ingaga, ndamarage biro makumi asatu ntakasasuirwe, kionkanda sasuraga within or after 30 days. Once they consent and agree, then we start supplying. People start supplying. Because government, for example, has given money in the city alone, about 700 million in PDM. People are going to produce small things. In the city, about 1.6 billion under PDM. People are going to produce small things in the right quality. If we give them extension services, where are they going to sell them? 10, 20, 100 birds, you'll not allow them. But if you put a bulking center, or to that person, you have given a bigger contract. Then this person should put in place Obulio, Bokusasura Supplier, and everybody will be happy. Everybody will be happy. I think this is what we need to work on. Small things. Omkurwa Business Development Forum, City Development Forum. Agambirege bintu bine bya kuregistering a database, ibyo kuregistering a company, biri bya haiguru muno, and yet we are dealing with peasants here. So let's treat these people in their peasantry form. We embrace them as peasants, but encourage them to produce the quality, the standards we want. Once they appreciate and achieve the standards we want, let's put a bulking center for them, like the way cooperatives work. Can we, if it is hard, can we say Hodifa, take lead? Register all farmers. After registering, put in place strategies of receiving all dodo, all nakati, all eggs, and you deliver them when they are fresh. If Hodifa says yes, we can, they already have the infrastructure. Then put in place a chain of farmers going to Hodifa, such that Hodifa, now the giant, the umbrella for all farmers in Hoima, can take lead and supply. Madifa is in Masindi, has received a lot of support from government and some oil and gas industries. But how are they linking their oversight function over farmers to create a source of market by linking them to the oil and gas industries? Once we do that, it will be all done. Then our youth. You know, sometimes tugamba aba youth, abasomere, musome kinu, musome kiri. Now I've started receiving a list of qualified youth, geophysicists, and others. Yesterday I had a parent, I don't know whether he's here. He's right there. He has a son who is a geophysicist, and he has even failed to be shortlisted anywhere. He's also listed on the National Talent Register. So hatogwa kubaza biki. Ajakuba na koraki. Ajakuba garagambe byawo bitahabyoya byanswa. I think if we are to talk local content, let's first get a local content of the very key professionals we need from this region and know them. Just knowing them is good enough. Once we know them and we have a need can we find a way of communicating to them such that they apply and also face the competition with the other professionals elsewhere? Haukwaka kila kembuzi ke halika koraki halika byama. Mbalize bigambo bingi baitu ndozere biri bikuru muno. Otherwise, I want us all to embrace registration on the National Supplier Database. If it is a requirement, by the way, you only need to have an NSSF clearance and a tax clearance and a registration certificate. Once you get them, you can be there. Now the $1 million question is, once you're there, how do you get business? Such meetings and such engagements. Mwebale kumpuliriza, otherwise tukubagondeza kuba nituembracinga tukwenyumiriza muno mu oil and gas in this God-given resource. But now, let's convert this God-given resource to this region to wealth creation, to increase our livelihood, such that oil and gas could be one of the mediums to transit this country from the peasantry economy it is to a middle income status. I say this for God and my country.
Thank you so much, Bwana RCC. Those were very good words. Omanyire abakuru omukuru no ko wabalizege inyuma haho yabaga hari indi kanire nanyi musume mu maiso konja kuba halali. So we thank you so much. Those were very, very important words, and we take very keen note of these remarks. Now, at this time, abaina papura baidaba mu busembeze hayi tubagambirege tukora study okutolereza n'okusoma n'okwetegereza ekizibu kitwine nka abantu ababulikiro okulwa nti twagobora magita gano kandi nikyo okula tukaleta consultant tukagwiza bikaguze bingi biri hano bwire muntu tujja kufuna findings okutu summarizing ebyo bitufunire kuruga mu bantu such that we shall go back and try to see how best we can provide clear feedback and work on those key issues. So Navwekyo, it's been very, very important, and at this time I want to take this opportunity to welcome Living Earth to give us their findings from the questions that have been raised by our very good people.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and to hear from you. From Living Earth, I'm called Hamu Rukundo, and I'm a consultant. The Secretariat here, we've been noting down all your issues. For your information, we've noted every issue that has been raised, both verbally and in writing. You can be assured that every issue has been taken note of, and we'll be able to do thorough reporting. But I want to give you a summary of the general issues. My Chitara is not so good, so you'll allow me to use English, because I don't want to start speaking words which he will... Yes.
You can mix in Runyankore.
You can speak in Runyankore.
People will get it.
Okay. So hariho ebintu ebimwagamba byona twabikategorizinga omu bintu bitano. Konka ntakagambira abintu ebyo bitano, you are all involved in 4 sectors. Majority of us are in agriculture production, right? Then the second option that we deal in is trading. Then the third is vocational skills. And then lastly, services. And on the good note is that when the officer from Petroleum Authority was listing services that were specifically gazetted for Ugandans, they fall within these 4 categories of things that we do. Isn't that good? Implying that whatever that we do is actually gazetted for only Ugandans. I think we should clap for that. Yes, so the biggest issues fall under social capital as a big category. There are issues of awareness. There are programs happening. There are opportunities, but people are not aware. Lack of information. The youth were saying the information sources available do not favor the youth and women, so things come and pass without knowing. Leadership is not involved and engaged. Things come and leadership is not aware, and therefore even the local communities are not aware. Lack of representation on the ground. Most of the partners, when they come, they either establish here in Hoima, and then they don't reach out to the sub-counties and communities never know because also the leaders are not involved. Lack of collaboration with Nyoro Kingdom. Some partners come, intervene, and they don't reach the communities. That is very dangerous. Specific interventions targeting the youth and women. The biggest issue was also on market linkages and market access. We have the products, they have good quality, but we don't know where the market is. Not that the market is not there, but we don't know where the market is and how to get to where the market is. Then corruption and genuine suppliers. Suppliers who come to partner with us are not genuine. They don't give us all the information because they want to exploit us. That also came out very strongly. And also lack of transparency with the partners or the suppliers that we are supposed to partner with. Then the second biggest category is legal and policy. Most of us are not registered, or we are not aware about the procedures on how to register. So there's a need for awareness creation. It is expensive to register a company. Registration is only online. Not all of us are aware about the online services. URA clearance. It is not easy to get clearance from URA, yet it is a requirement. We got that also. So we need to train people on how to register to the national database and all the requirements that are needed. This was very key. On a good note, from one of you, you said that URSB now has an office here in Hoima. So you don't have to go to Kampala for you to register a company. The office, from one of you said, it is behind St. Andrew Kahwa Secondary School in Bujumbura. So kindly visit that office and find out how to register a company, because most of the papers even came, how can I supply as an individual? A company is becoming a company, and looks like we cannot run away from it. So kindly seek out information. The office is here, it is decentralized. Then other issues fall under physical capital. That is where we have lack of inputs which are on the market are not genuine. And then that's where UNBS should come in and ensure that all the inputs that are put on the market, agro inputs, the other supplies that are available on the market are certified. Then this is also came out especially for the youth and women. They lack land to do their farming activities. And also the fishermen near the oil wells, people are engaged in a lot in fisheries, in fishing, and they don't have land where to do farming from. So this is also very key. Climate change also came in, that there is a lot of drought. Drought is very common, therefore irrigation equipment and all other facilities, technology, that falls under physical capital. Then lastly, we have human capital, skills, not second lastly, human capital, that is skills, limited qualifications, quality issues also came out very clearly. Then lastly, financial capital. We lack tailored financial services and products. You find the products that are on the market do not favor, for example, production activities where you harvest once in 4 months and yet you're required to pay a loan every month. Collaborations with financial institutions is still very limited, and therefore people have no funds to invest in activities that could enable them to participate. Then we have also captured all the recommendations. Also, we've also categorized them according to these 4 broad categories: the human capital, financial capital, social, physical, legal, and policy regulations. And our work will be to go back and do further analysis of these issues, and then we'll make a report to Unoc and also including the recommendations like you've suggested them. And they will come back to you. I am very sure, I'm told, they will come back to you and disseminate this information. And you validate to see, did we actually capture whatever that you talked about? Or is what we captured the representing the views you gave us? And we hope by that time, also the interventions will also be clear, and they'll also be able to tell you on what interventions they will be having to help you participate in the oil and gas sector. Otherwise, thank you so much for your participation. Thanks for being genuine. We were worried here that because the room has politicians, RDCs, everyone will fear to bring out the issues, but thank you so much for being genuine and bringing out the issues the way they are. They were very, very raw, and we want to thank you so much, and we'll capture them. We will not alter anything. We'll present them as you gave them to us. Thank you.
They are educated, they can't fear. So, thank you so much, Living Earths, for the good summary. Now, we are left with a few speeches. I know most of us are tired. Abamba juahire amu baina sukali na wati sukali garuki hansi. Tugia kufuna ekikwetagisa. Kionka tukabigenda aho nakugondeza kumanyisa nti ibintu byonna bina bikutukurwa kwanura. Unoc ejagaruka fune engeri yoku bigarukamu kandi yokutuha ekiererezi n'engeri ki itukusobola kuba ntuyamba abantu baitu kurora nti twagobora mu kintu kino kandi harobo abaine bikaguzo abasigaze bikaguzo offices za bitongole byona ziri hano. Petroleum Authority no kyatuka hano Petroleum Authority hali hano kyasara muhana gukwija hano hano gukwija resort hotel baina office hano. Uganda National Oil Company tuina office enyuma kuli side za no kyaruga ha office ya Electoral Commission gete garukaho niho hari office ya Unoc. Tujja kwanteka ekiapa kijja kubayo gamba bwire bondo bakyakora muhanda baitu baramara tujja kwantekaho ekiapa kijja kubaho. Aba Sino ko Uganda Limited nabo baina offices zabo okuraba hano kayongera yoko ojja kubasanga yoko. Then ba ECOP nabo baina offices. So offices zona ziri hano na muno okuyamba abantu ababunyoro. N'ebichweka bindi buliso ko totale baliyo na Masaka baliyo. So bichweka bikwauka offices zikwawukana ziri bichweka bino. So tusigaize embazo enti muno tulinayo olubazo kuruga omwa RDC ajja kuba natugamba bigambo nawe tumuhulirize, then tujja kuba ntufuna okukingaho olukurato okuruga omukuru kitongole kya Uganda National Oil Company akulira timu ene izire kya leero abakumweta National Content Specialist ajja kuba natugambira bigambo obwaramara, then tujja kuba ntufune kimsana kionka mukaire ko kufune kimsana kubasaba nka abantu banya Hoima banya Bunyoro nti tugeze okufuna network n'abantu bana bali hano. Timu eri hano yabantu abakwawukana ababanka nabo bayizireke bana kaba Equity Bank babyina kwija na Stanbic abakwenda loan nabo bizu byabo bakaba babisotinga. So kutwali hamu enteka zona ziriho kandi abantu bona bariho bakugubona bariho tubeyambise kuranti twasokuba ntufuna kuyambibwa mu ideas n'engeri ezikwawukana. National Database, National Oil and Gas Talent Register, National Suppliers Database Registration, Petroleum Authority niye kujunanizibwa kandi bintu bikusinga wingi biri online. So na work tujumbire okozesa platforms ezikwawukana Twitter bino bintu bikahinduka technology genda nekura oburasigara inyuma tojja kuba no manye kigenda maiso na ino speech yona buli kimwe kigenda maiso hane nebimayini mbaza byona biri hamu kutubwire buno hali tukubaliza. So na wekyo tugeze okurura nti naito twageza kuba twahondera embera yensi ko bwekurubata technology ekura communication media zikuhinduka. So tugeze okurura nti twafuna information bino byona bitubalizeho biba ha website zaitu website za Unoc, website za Petroleum Authority, Ministry of Energy ne bitongole byona. So omukaire kano nja kusaba omukuru RDC wa Hoima District IG atuhe remarks zayi. Tumtere mu bugaru naiji ona ba president oihanga ha district yego
webare muno the RCC for this city, the deputy RDC and deputy RCC, the RISO, oil and gas, the representative of the chairman LC5, and all the district leaders present, all the technocrats here, Unoc and all the partners, the youth leaders and the youth in general, my fellow youth, all the participants, the media, I salute you all. My name is Mbabas Rogers, the RDC for Hoima district. I will use Runyoro and English, though my Runyoro is not good, but I will try. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Unoc for organizing this great event, for empowering communities to benefit in oil and gas value chain. I am hopeful and confident that whoever has come in this workshop, we have all learned a lot, we've benefited a lot, and we are not going to go back the same way that we came. I would like to thank Unoc for supporting our farmers through trainings. I heard of the testimonies. I've interacted with some farmers, many farmers that have benefited. Though, of course, there are some challenges, but of course, we cannot rule out the fact that a biggest percentage of people in this region have benefited from this empowerment. I would also love to thank Unoc for being transparent. The few months that I've been in the Hoima district, I have come to find out that Unoc has ensured the issue of transparency by compensating the people. That is good. That is how companies are supposed to be. So we thank you. Then also, on the issue of skilling, Unoc has participated a lot in skilling the youth, and that is a great thing because a skill is going to help us achieve household income and be part of the money economy. Then I will also not forget the issue of job creation. It is true Unoc has not employed all the jobless people in Uganda, but it has at least taken up a certain percentage. The likes of the RCC, who was the former staff, they have given testimonies, and other youth that have got jobs. Also indirectly, it has employed people through skilling, trainings, as I had already talked about. Allow me go straight on some of the issues that were raised. For example, the issue of lack of knowledge on company registration. Most of you are being mugambire ngu timutungire obuhabuzo bukumara aha kintu cyo kuregisteringa company. Hati mbaretira makuru amarungi. Very soon omuhoima ntwijja kuba ntuchinguraho a service center. In fact, chakabiri next week chakabiri minister wa public service nabakuga abando kuruga mu public service nibijja kuba bari ha radio bakugamba tugamba hansonga ejo ya opening a service center. Service center ejo neija kuberimu abakugu abakuregisteringa companies, abakugu, all sorts of most of the services are going to be there. So agwa makuru amarungi. Then also Unoc already mbire mazire kubasima habukutegeka urukurato runo. Next event like this ninja kusaba aba Unoc mu event engage balete aba service providers nabo bije hano bateke amameza tube hano mu workshop bitu after workshop baku engaging how you can register company na bakugu mu business ideas na bakugu mu binte bya sales like that. Habokuba ninihira ngu Unoc echaineyo engagements nyingi muno other engagements like this. Then echinde chintu echa nani payment okusupplying ebintu abantu batasasure. Already na RCC nawe ari mu bantu abanyagire sente. So nyowe ninja kwatanisa na RCC. Kirungi kirimu n'abakoto ba RCC nabo barumu. So ninja kwatanisa na RCC nikwe turora abantu abo abachi batakwenda kusasura. I don't see a reason why the company should open. People supply for months not getting money. So we need to join efforts. When you're one, it becomes hard. Bitu kutukwe joining. Ito tukagenda utukagamba. Tukikara kurungi tukabagamba habweche sente zitu mutakuzitwereza. I'm telling you they will look for that money. Bitu kugenda yo wenka niba kutosinga nibagamba garuka nyenche. Bitu kutukwe joininga nyo na RCC tukagenda na abantu tukabakaguza kurungi in good faith. They will pay that money. Because we know what it means, abamu nimuba mkozise around. So it is unfortunate that that is happening. So we shall cooperate with the RCC and other leaders to see how to get to handle that matter. Then echinde chintu echa market. Ningo, I would like to inform you that the government of Uganda has already worked closely with other East African countries to ensure that the East African market is open in general. That is why currently, if you're to travel to Kenya, to go to Rwanda, or the East African countries, you only need a national ID. You don't need a passport. Those are the negotiations that the government of Uganda, those are some of the negotiations that the government of Uganda has worked on to ensure that the East African market is open. And more negotiations are coming up. Right now, the country is negotiating a big deal of milk, a big deal of matoke, rice, and so on, and also meat. Government ya Uganda already ekozire nteekateeka ezokurora nti market ya amahanga gonaga East Africa echingwire open. Nicho kuroresa zino kokuba noenda kugenda Kenya, okugenda Rwanda, Tanzania, just noyetaga national ID. Bakagezao kukendeza bureaucracy. Then na government already erumune yongerayo okurora nti deals enkoto muno nazo ziri successful. Kadiru, eyomukere, amate, and so on, ebyona nbija kuba sorted out. So the issue of market, the government is working on it. Then I also advise, as we are producing these things, let us group ourselves. Once we are in a group, it is easier to find market because different people have got different ideas. I could be producing rice or maybe dealing in rabbit keeping, yet, and I'm complaining that there is no market, yet there is a farmer in Iburisa who is saying that they are demanding a lot of rabbits from him. So let us embrace the idea of grouping ourselves. Already, tutandikire enteekateeka z'okusomesa abantu, but the good thing is that you're here. So, if you're dealing, kokuba no dealing in maybe dairy farming, serura bantu other farmers, abakudiringa mu kintu kyokora, then mukore like association. Ataho no ija kusanga ngu akata ekintu kya katare kiri sorted. Because at times we fail to get market just because we are not aware of who needs what we have. That is where also the power of social capital comes in. I would also love to talk about the issue of, because of time, let me go straight to government's commitment. The government, through the National Development Plan, is committed to ensuring the issue of household income. Government already eri munteekateeka ezokurora ngu entasha eyongire okuraba mu PDM already sente muzifunire every parish as we talk, a case in point of Hoima district batiremu 100 millions na Hoima site bazitungira bwokuba listing kazirora ha office ya RCC. So millions chikumi in every parish, to me that is the first of its kind in Uganda. Which other government has ever done that, injecting 100 millions in every parish? This is, of course, in addition to the input of Unoc by supporting us in different ways. The government has also supported the citizens, has supported us through Emyoga, and it is adding more 20 millions in every circle. So at government kwe kubetire mu sente ezo zona. Surely I think it is high time we increase on the gear as far as embracing the money economy is concerned. However, government no bwekore bintu bino, even if government gives us a lot of money, even if it puts now $1 billion in every parish, if we are not disciplined, transparent, and patriotic, still we shall not develop. That is where I'm bringing the power of transparency, patriotism, and discipline. Because you can imagine, like there are some people who got like a Myoga money, my fellow youth. I'm still a youth because I'm just 31 years. I made 31 years on 22nd June. My fellow youth, some of us got the money and decided to run away. The day they got the money is the day you can't get them in the village. So let us become transparent, we use the money well, and we develop ourselves. Because the government is not going to do everything. It has brought the money at the parish level, 100 millions. It has brought 50 millions in addition to 20 millions in addition to the 30 millions of Emyoga. So let's be disciplined, and some leaders that are here, let us be exemplary. Also, government has worked on the issue of value addition. A case in point of this district, Hoima district, government brought tractors and gave them to the people so that they can help them to do farming and so on. I'm trying to show you that government has surely done its work, and we need to also do our work. But it is unfortunate that because at times there is lack of transparency amongst ourselves, we leaders, you find like the tractors brought are not helping the communities. So let us be transparent, we be disciplined, we be patriotic, so that we can develop as a team, thus attaining social, economic transformation. In addition to that, my fellow youth, the government has surely also given us industrial hubs. Eminyeto bataibange nimba kubiriza okwejumbira omu industrial hubs zino niko tunge experience. And of course, many youth have benefited. The other time we were on the graduation in Masindi of the youth that were graduating. Government has also gone ahead to support on the issue of industrial cottages. Government already tandikire industrial cottages ezekuteka mebyuma kebyokole enkaito kebyuma ebiku the milling machines. All those things are being done to increase on household income. However, I again repeat that still these things cannot help if we are not transparent, disciplined. I would also love to talk about, in addition to the National Development Plan, still government has worked on the issue of infrastructure development. I would like to thank Unoc. The government through Unoc has developed oil roads and also other roads. Like here in Hoima City, I think RCC must be happy because of these good roads around. So those roads are being constructed to help us to easily take our products to the market. Ezo enguudo ezi government ekombeka nezo kutuyamba uniko tutware bintu bitu aha butare. So ate kisigire, it is our work okurora ngu turi transparent and patriotic in our groups. I would like to conclude by again thanking all of you for coming. Thank you for embracing such a big event. I can say it is this was a knowledge hub. We have all learned a lot. We have known each other as far as social capital is concerned. Let us form groups. If you're dealing in Matoke, find other farmers, you form an association. So that if there is a challenge in Matoke farming, you can join efforts and call one vet to come and provide advisory knowledge. The same applies to other farmers, rice farmers, poultry farmers. Then also, I would like to conclude by encouraging all the leaders that are here. Let us go out and we lead our people in a transparent manner. Let us advise them. It will be unfortunate when we find we have a leader here who has come to attend such a big knowledge hub organized by Unoc, to reach there and we hear that you are the one involved in diverting tractors, diverting PDM funds, and so on. So let this be a lesson. We work as a team. We lead our people well so that we develop together as a country. Thank you so much for God and my country.
Thank you so much, Mr. RDC, for the wonderful remarks. I didn't know that I'm older than you. But I'm glad that you really, this is very good. So at this time, we are left with only one speaker. And after that, we shall be going for our lunch. Let me also use this chance to appreciate and thank you all for coming. Mwebali muno kuija. Mwetere mu bugaro. Kandi obutwagarukaga kubeeta mwijege mbwingi such that tuwege. Ataizire tasoboire kumanya ekigenda maiso. Hoiro abali online programs. So mwebali muno kuija kandi meetings zaitu zigya kanga tujja kusigara ntubasomesa ntubamanyisa buli kigenda maiso hawo kusonga kitongole kya Unoc kyo kikwawukana n'ebindi kitongole kya government ya Uganda kitongole kyawe obuturagwa nayo okuba ogwire so nikimanyisa tukwetaga buhagizi tukwetaga guidance advice hali nsobi mutugambire such that tukwatire hamu hakuba muri mugwayi tugakora anti buli munya Uganda yaso kugobora mu ntegeka zino so akaire kano munyikirize ntangire mukyara omunyorokati Jessica Cheyune IJ atuhe closing remarks kando gwo mukugu omubya national content lugabina bya community content oba local content bireke ona ali level ya international so nabwekyo mukiara munyorokati Jessica Cheyune tukusaba oije otuhe remarks zawe okingena olukurato nubu tusoko bantu genda halanji. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, our leaders, all protocol observed. I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming, because from the national content perspective, we have to work through people, we have to listen to people, and if we do not get actually your challenges, we'll come with our own solutions that do not meet your challenges, and then we will all remain at the same level like we've heard. You've been talking about the same things all the time, but the good thing this time we have Living Earth is coming. This is just the beginning of them looking at the community content study. How do you get communities involved? Because we have also seen that definitely so much money has been sunk into the Albertine Graben, but we don't see a lot of movement. And so, us working with Living Earth, definitely, they are going to still come to the leaders, to your communities, to the sub-counties. Not everywhere. We are going to focus on 3 districts: Masindi, Hoima, and Bulisa. Those are the 3 districts we are going to carry our study from, and we kindly request that when they come back to you, you give them more information to extrapolate on the issues that have been raised. Yes, some of the things definitely raised. I think the RDC has really explained most of the things I was going to talk about. But we all need to understand that Unoc, our responsibility is to get oil out of the ground and to make sure that Ugandans participate and to make sure that oil benefits Ugandans. There are other government programs like Ministry of Energy. There are loyalties that will come to the communities after the oil comes out of the ground and it is sold. But there are going to be a lot of opportunities for you. And the government has done a lot to put money in communities, including now the new product they have, which is at counties. So what we ask is like what the RDC has said, that definitely use this money wisely, embrace government programs, because as Unoc, we will not, like, say for instance, somebody who asked for schools. We are not going to construct schools. Schools is not a responsibility of Unoc. Schools is a responsibility of government of Uganda through the Ministry of Education. But what Unoc does is to finance some students to be able now to take on these skills. Like even the farmers, you're talking about the 40, we worked with the Kingdom to select 40 farmers that were trained as trainers from the 15 counties. So each county got at least 2 people. The big ones like Hoima that have many farmers associations got 3, but we had to get a lady and a gentleman, and 50% of those people were youths and 50% of them were women. So as they went back, like you had John Mary's multiplier effect, the oil companies are not going to be able to do everything. But we as communities, like the RDC said, if you are all growing pineapples, why don't you create an association of pineapple growers? There you can easily register that association and be able to supply the oil and gas sector. And the other thing that I always keep on telling people, that do not focus your business on oil and gas. Oil and gas happens in phases. Like now we are in the development for the Tilenga and Kingfisher. After 3-4 years, there's going to be virtually no business. So we encourage you to actually do your businesses to supply the greater market that is available around you. So for instance, if you are a tomato grower, matoke grower, today we are going to feed 400 people plus. Why don't you supply Hoima Resort with your vegetables, with your food, with your chicken, with your beans, with your everything, and look at supplying the camps? The camps will not definitely be accessible with everybody. And the camps, like somebody was talking about, the tiers. Yes, the Total is not going to buy food from you. They get a catering company that is supplying food to them. And now they are going to tell the company that buy food from locals. But now if somebody brought rice that has stones, the people in the camp will say the rice you brought has stones, we are not going to eat it. So what does the catering company do? Keep on putting that rice on the table, or are they going to find another source? And these are some of the challenges these companies that are tier 1 and tier 2 contractors face with us. Reliability of supply. If they say every day we want 500 mangoes in the camp, it's not going to be like, okay, now like mango season is going down that I can no longer give you the 500. They need the 500 all year long. So how do we do that? And that is one of the trainings we had the preliminary one with the agriculture development program, where we had 40 trainers of trainers, that we told them even how to be able to supply foods all year long. How can that be done? And like John Mary has a success story. And we are definitely not stopping here. We are going to come. We are going to listen to you. Living Earth is going to come, and we are going to come back here with the solutions for the things that Unoc can resolve. Not everything, like we have told you for schools. We are not responsible for building schools. It's Government of Uganda through Ministry of Education. But we can have scholarships for some of the students, and we train them from those schools. So with that, I would like to thank you. Please don't leave without eating. Our leaders, we have a special place where you are going to eat from. Robert will be responsible for you, and some of the staff from Unoc, from upstream. And the rest of us, please, there are coupons that are being given out. Do not leave without having lunch, but also people from the oil companies, PAU, Energy, Unoc, I saw ECOP, and Total. Kindly join our leaders and have lunch with them so that you can have a conversation of the things that need to be done and how we can support the communities better, because these are the people on the ground and we need to listen to them. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day. God bless you, and safe journey back home.
Thank you so much, Jessica. She has said it all. Now, we are all people of God, and we are going to have a prayer. In the morning when we were starting, tutandikike nesaro kuruga mukuru omu baitu mbaini saba. Tufuneyo Haji omusiramu. Tujja kufunayo ndozere hariho seeka oraso kutwayo sara ya kulia neyo kukinga rukuratu such that tugende n'emikisa. Tujja kufunayo sara kuruga omukuru ogwo such that tufune emikisa tutaye kurungi tuhike kurungi kandi nasabirana ihanga n'ekitongole kya Unoc kutwalya hamu.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. As-siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Oh God, in this presence of yours here, I pray for the food that you're going to give us. I pray for the people who have already arrived here, and I pray, Almighty God, to give them a good mercy and good safe journey back home. I also pray to all the leaders of Hoima district and from other districts neighboring Hoima. I also pray for the Unoc company, which has enabled us to come here to engage us with the knowledge that we have to take back home. So I pray in the name of Allah to provide and protect us, go back home safe. In the name of God we pray.
Amen. Thank you so much. So we have two places. We have to ina side is mkono gwa bumoso no side gwa mkono gwa bulio tujja kuba ntufuna byokulya mbitweka bine bikwawukana baitu aba partners baitu but Total Energy, Unoc, banks na leadership of the different districts that have come here, we shall move with you through this side. And others, make sure you get a card such that you can be able to get served. We want to thank you so much. Kandi baira bamutajuahaga enkura tuzaitu zino tujja kusigala ntubengeginga nsigaire ndi Robert Mukondo ninkola n'ekitongole kya Uganda National Oil Company kandi mulimo gwange gukuteraniza abantu n'ekitongole so singa habayireho ngumi hano ninyo yakwemerera hagati kurora nti abantu bakwatagana mwebali muno, and I request that you get as much network as you can, such that you can remain relating with all other people. Thank you, and God bless you.